Shy finds yet another pick-off on Joyce one. Quick resurrection, though. At least they're able to take high ground now, Vicky. Let's recollect our thoughts once more before this fight goes on even longer. Gooshway jumping up to the high ground with Architect TP in at the back. Immediately go down. Gargo's taking a lot of damage. Already wants a primal. There he is.
Yeah, he pops primal, but it's going to be the Death Blossom in the back, and it's going to be Leaf to help clean up for Jimmy. And Leaf is getting pocketed too by this at the same time by Nisha, and we touched up on that from the gates when they came out. And a Diva Bomb for a Diva Bomb, but currently we have the Spark winning, and numbers is going to be Bernard finding a quick 3K. Shy's going to follow up by Mandu, and I love the way that the Spark are playing this currently.
They're waiting for Jimmy to flank here, Vicky, actually. Yeah. Rascal's got the duplicate. If they don't spot Jimmy soon, this could be very, very bad news for the supports.
Oh, and he found a lot of talk about fighting the backline.
Alrighty, welcome up. Welcome up. Well, I don't know what's going on with my words right now, but welcome back is what I meant to say, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch League stream. I can't talk apparently, but it's fine. We're getting ready to get into our marquee matchup. Yeah, thank you for staying up with us if you guys are watching in North America or, if you're up early in Europe or wherever you are in the world. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Anyway, marquee matchup of the evening. This is going to be the Chengdu Hunters getting ready to go up against the Hangzhou Spark. This could be an absolutely incredible series, Avril. I mean, Chengdu, they have definitely looked way better, way more consistent throughout their series so far this year. Hangzhou Spark have this recent bounce back where they look absolutely incredible. I think this could I think this could realistically go either way. I'd favor Hangzhou Spark maybe slightly, but you never really know what to expect from Chengdu.
No, and well, that's the Chengdu zone, part and parcel. That's exactly what needs to happen. What I'm excited about is it's going to be another matchup with two Chinese teams. We'll be facing off each other, both on LAN here. Huge fan bases for both teams live in the crowd. I think that's going to be insane. Standings here is very important. Now, pay attention to 4 and 5. This is what we're talking about here. I know it's Spark playing Chengdu, but 4 and 5, it's 2 and 2 with a +1 differential. Philadelphia Fusion below New York because they lost in the head-to-head. New York won the head-to-head, and that pushes Philadelphia Fusion out of contention for the June Joust. And the meme about the match we saw earlier between LA Valiant and Philadelphia Fusion is that the winner of that match really was in New York Excelsior. So New York are just so thankful that Fusion lost a map to Valiant and that Valiant took a map because that one map difference made all the difference. If Fusion won that one map versus Valiant and 3-0'd, like pretty much every team has 3-0'd, Fusion would win the tiebreaker versus New York and they would have clinched into the June Joust. Now, Chengdu, -2 you see there. There is a chance for Chengdu to still make the June Joust. They would require themselves to beat the Spark right now in a 3-0. If they get a 3-0, they are also 2 and 2 +1. There's a 3-way tiebreaker. We know Fusion are gone. That doesn't matter. But Chengdu and New York can still have a tiebreaker between those two teams. And as we've discussed, Seth, I think Chengdu might actually beat New York in that tiebreaker because that's when we go towards strength of schedule. And Chengdu's strength of schedule is probably a little bit better. So Chengdu have a real possibility of clinching that 4 seed away from New York if they can 3-0. But if they lose a single map, New York make it, Chengdu are out, so huge implications for Chengdu in this matchup, and very important for them to bring their A game. And it's great to see them in a sort of situation where they have to be at 110%. Both teams have a lot to play for here. And Spark, they're in front of their home fans. Look, if Spark lose 0-3, they're still first seed, so don't be worried if you're a Spark fan, but you want to see Spark win because it is their home stand.
Yeah, I mean, I would be a little worried though if they do lose 0-3. I think that would be a cause for concern. But yeah, not for the reasons that you're saying. They would obviously have their spot in the tournament. That is safe, so you don't have to be concerned in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I think if nothing else, this is definitely not going to be a 0-3 series. This seems like this one could very well go the distance. I know that in my own pick'ems, I have it going the distance, but we all just have to wait and see. Who we're going to be getting from the side of the Chengdu Hunters because they have been playing around with this roster as of late. So maybe we're going to be surprised in that regard because I haven't looked at Twitter. So if they've announced it, I have no idea. But yeah, and then Hangzhou, they just look really good. Well, okay, well there you have it. Kaneki is in. So we got the hard confirmation. They're playing Reaper is what that tells me. Yeah, it's not surprising at all in the current climate. So
it's also Gaga instead of Among. So that's main tank. Speaking of main tanks, by the way, Gushue has been kind of the face of the Hangzhou Spark. He's been the guy on the team, really big meta for him so far. Winston has been huge in this particular meta, and Gushue's still putting up huge stats. I mean, average time alive, he's #1. Fewest deaths as well. So in terms of just staying alive, that's massive. And ignore the fact that his hero damage is only 12th. I don't think hero damage is really the most important stat to look at for the Hangzhou Spark, for main tanks, especially Winston. Staying alive as a main tank, to me, is one of, if not the most important thing, because you're buying space, you're putting pressure down, and you are forcing their team to address you, so that's huge. What you see on screens right now is Chengdu Hunters are getting their players on stage, their fans are out in full force, flags are waving, and they're ready. They're ready for the potential of a 3-0 to get themselves into June Joust. It is their only hope.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can get it done. This is going to be the starting 6 here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Like you said, Kaneki, Gaga, both going to be in. Otherwise, not too shocking. We're not going to see Yabutol off the bat. Maybe we'll see him later on in the series. We did just see him yesterday, I believe. But it will be Nisha and Monk holding things down in the support lineup. Now, you see the Chengdu flags waving out in the audience, so still having representation. I mean, you knew this was going to happen. Having an event out in China.
Now you got to pack
the fans were going to all going to travel here to Hangzhou to be able to cheer on their squads.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was this. You said it. This marquee matchup, right? This is the important one. This is where you got two Chinese teams facing off, both on land, both on stage. This is like Overwatch League as it's meant to be, with all the fans out in full force, and now the home team, the Hangzhou Spark, coming up, and their second match in their own homestand. They already got a 3-0 versus Valiant. Leaving the Charge once again as a flag bearer for the team. High fives all around, and it's going to be the 11-man walkout. The 12th player, Takiaki, still in Korea, but the rest of the players are all going to be here. Watch them all line up on stage, finger guns out and ready to go.
Absolutely. I mean, the fans are going to be ecstatic about this. You can see just recording the moments, making sure they get those high fives in as each and every player makes their entrance down onto the stage. So Minsu, still one of those ones that we haven't really seen, despite the fact that we are in
He's a Reaper player.
Very heavy Reaper meta. Exactly. That's where they were using him before, was just strictly on Reaper, but hasn't yet happened. So maybe we'll get some eyes on Sominsu pretty soon here as they continue down the line on the entrance here.
MCD, by the way, whose name and face just came up on the big screen. MVP from yesterday, well deserved. There he is.
Yeah.
Massive plays on the Ana, and I think that was a statement match. I don't know if Hangzhou Spark are going to keep running that composition. Will they buckle and choose to go Lucio Moira as well? Because yesterday, defiantly, they said, no, we're not going to go in that direction. We will continue playing what we are good at, and got a clean victory there. So huge stuff coming on through. Burner, another player I've been massively impressed with so far this season. Just a solid roster so far. Hangzhou Spark, most improved team, I want to say, over the course of this season. When you look at how they started versus where they are now. Favorites in APAC, you'd probably say they're the best team in APAC currently. And if they can get a very clean score versus Chengdu Hunters, they are going to secure that.
Well, there he is on your screen. Shy charging down the aisle. This is the guy that, the fans should be absolutely ecstatic about. He has just been wonderful for the Hangzhou Spark. He has instilled a new sense of hope that the Spark have been lacking for a very long time. I mean, you would say since, probably 2019, basically, when they did have some fairly competitive runs, making it into stage playoffs when we were over at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. Since then, things have dwindled, but with Shy on this lineup, making his debut, they played such a close series versus the Shanghai Dragons, took in the 5 maps, couldn't quite make it happen, but it was very much on the back of Shy. But there are the players up on stage in front of the fans, and here are our starting at 6. It's the same thing from yesterday.
As you'd expect, I mean, I don't really see this team making substitutions at all. They want to put on a massive showing for their team. A 3-0 into a match versus Chengdu, where it's do or die for Chengdu, but for Spark as well, securing a clean sweep here, being the only team that can still go 4-0. 11 players on stage. Takiaki still in Korea. Finger guns across the board. And a 4-0 possibility in the June Joust available for the Hangzhou Spark if they can beat Chengdu today.
All right, well, the players will take their seats. The rest will go ahead and wait with bated breath as the anticipate the start of this series. To see if the Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to draw first blood on Control, kick things off with a map win, and be that much closer to that 4-0 stretch. Something worth mentioning is a congratulations to the Chinese commentator Roy, who apparently proposed, and she said yes. So there you go.
Awesome.
That happened. That happened during the break. But that's always a cool little thing.
Yeah, that is. Well, it's
Congrats to them.
see, this is what LAN brings. It gives you all the joyous
Brings love.
things that can possibly happen. Some live love. As I mean, I said this before, I'll say it again, but you know, you can really tell it is a packed stage now. This is a packed stadium. This is the match that I think if you're a Chinese fan live in the Hangzhou homestand, of which I'm extremely envious of, this is the match you've been waiting for. Hangzhou playing up against really good competition. Chengdu fans in full force as well. And at minimum, you will be seeing Hangzhou Spark tomorrow as well in the actual qualifier game to get into you know, the actual June Joust tournament versus NA. Chengdu are not out of that, but Spark are for sure in, and they are in at minimum #1 seed. So they are, well, at minimum and just at maximum as well, #1 is as good as you can get. So they're as high up as you can be, which also means, by the way, if Chengdu manage to clinch a 3-0 here, you're going to see a rematch tomorrow. 1st seed versus 4th seed. It'll be Chengdu versus Hangzhou all over again.
Yeah, it's very true. And that could be a little swift little turnaround to try to find a different result. But we'll see what happens. But I see everybody's just going to be waiting. I think we have the players in the lobby, so we should be getting started momentarily. And then we can take a look at our map set here pretty soon. Figure out where they're going to be squaring off. I mean, for Chengdu, sure, yeah, you do have quite a few people out there in the crowd that are going to be rooting for you. It's very much going to be a one-sided affair in a sea of pink out there in the audience. And that can be, you know, rather intimidating when you're staring out there and you see, I don't notice any orange realistically. But
got a lot of pink on this disc as well, I just got to say.
Yeah, there has been.
Just to celebrate the homestand.
Coordinate that a little bit. I went for the, well, this almost looks like a flesh-colored shirt with the lighting, but I promise it is pink. Yeah, we want to, you know, just be grateful for the return of LAN and just kind of celebrate that with our
you guys got any
wardrobe.
flesh-colored shirts? Just
Yeah. I mean, something that looks like the color of my skin, which is almost translucent, realistically. So at that point, I might as well just not wear a shirt.
This is no bias. This is just to show the adoration for the actual homestand itself. But you know, I think it's either team. Well, I mean, either team winning, but at the same time, it's Spark for sure getting through, and Spark I have high expectations for leading the way for APAC, looking like the best APAC team so far. Chengdu made May Melee qualifiers, actually went into the actual tournament itself in the May Melee, so they have that going for them, and they would love to get into June Joust as well. I remember back then, Chengdu were even saying, their head coach Rui was like, what do you do now that you're in the May Melee? He's like, I have no idea. I didn't think we'd make it this far. So now that they have gone that far before, I mean, I'm sure the path is wide open. It's a very tough path to get through, but 3-0, it would be an insane victory to then have to repeat or to then have to rematch versus Spark tomorrow if they can get through there. Would be pretty nuts. Otherwise, it'll be a Spark versus New York. So New York will be up in contention. They'll be 4th seed and versus the 1st seed of Spark, and it will be Seoul versus Shanghai. Oh, that would be an incredible game as well. Seoul Shanghai is always going to be an incredible one. A lot of history between those two teams. So, yeah, I mean, top 4 of APAC, quite competitive, got to say.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and that's great to see. You know, we've talked about this numerous times. We were talking about this just yesterday when I made my bold prediction. You don't want to have a region where there's like, you know, the bottom team. Like, this is the team that you kind of just write off every single time. So the more competitive it is, the better it's going to be, the better the product you get. You know, it's more entertaining for us as commentators, more entertaining for you guys as viewers. Speaking of entertainment, we're doing our best. We're just still waiting for the players to be set up and ready so that we can jump into the action. So I know you're just probably saying stuff in the chat like, stop talking, start the match, etc. We don't have that ability.
No,
we are at home. I'm in Korea. He's in Australia.
I do have the ability. I just don't feel like it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Avril's just being a jerk.
I'm happy.
Okay.
So,
the more you ask for it, the longer he's going to wait. It's like those tactics that your parents pull
Production
on
of
you.
Santa Mira is like, Avril, can we start the game? I'm just like, no, I'm not up to it.
Nah,
I'll
still feel
I'll
like
let you
it,
know
man.
when. Soon, though. I'm getting there now. I'm getting warmed up. I'm starting to feel it. Good to see, now you get the cameras of, all 12, all on stage. We got a bit of a preview of this yesterday when Spark played Valiant. And, oh boy, it's crazy to me. Just even talking about, because you mentioned the fact that, you want to have teams that you can't just predict every result. The fact that Valiant get that one map, first of all, ruins like everybody's pickings. Second of all, though, it's crazy to think the implications of what one map can do here. Because it not only ruins Fusion's chances of making it in to the point where they can't, but it also gifts York Excelsior a chance and puts Chengdu in a situation where they can get in as well. So LA Valiant they've kind of saved multiple teams here as well as ruined another team just with one map. So it's wild that in 2021 of Overwatch League, just how important some of these maps can be.
Yeah, I mean, everything counts. You cannot afford to be dropping these. So, a lot of the time say, okay, you know what, it was a 3-1, but we got the victory. That one can very much come back to bite you in the rear down the line. So you want to just be winning as cleanly as humanly possible at every twist and turn. It's not always going to be the case. It's not always going to be something that you can pull off depending on the caliber team that you're playing against. But like you said, it all adds up in the end, and unfortunately for Fusion, it didn't add up to enough. But here's our map set as we are finally ready to start jumping into the game. It seems like it's going to be Ilios to start, then we'll go to Volskaya yet again, Nambani yet again, and then potentially Rialto and Lijiang Tower if we can go ahead and have the long series that I personally am anticipating.
And if you're a Chengdu supporter, you don't want a long series. You want a very quick one, ideally in the favor of your team. If you're a Spark supporter, none of these results really matter, except you'd be happy if you win, and hopefully win commandingly so that you have a great shot going into the actual June Joust tournament. That would be ideal. Coming out the skates now, no Lucio Moyo to be seen. MCD staying on towards the Ana, Nisha on towards the Mercy. But we are getting a lot of Reaper in here, though. We did expect that with Kaneki joining the squad for the first map.
Out the gate, Shy versus Leave. This is a very big matchup to keep our eyes on. Bionate out from Monk does manage to clip on the 2. Architect going to be knocked down a little bit low for the moment. Needs to get topped up. Continues to take some damage. Has the Wraith Walk, and he's in no man's land there for the moment. Does safely get back over to the rest of his squad. There, MCD is going to be very happy that he took that damage because he can build up very quickly for a nano boost. Leaf clipped here in the sky. The beam, just out of range. He doesn't have the boost. He's going to get back up top. Now Shy's going to be down on the ground. Takes quite a bit of damage. The sticky bombs come flying through, and Leaf will find the kill. Shy, flying too close to the sun, gets punished. Which way with the sliver of HP. Looks like he will be able to hold on for a little bit longer as MCD and IDK do the damage to keep him alive in the fight. Rez is there, putting Leaf back into the mix of things. With the first cap there for Chengdu, they're moving up above 10% at the moment. They have Nano taken out. Nano will get committed. I thought they were just going to disengage here, but no, they continue to press forward. Monk getting jumped on will fall, but at what cost? IDK is now gone. MCD going to be eliminated as well as Kaga just goes ahead and finishes on both supports, and Hangzhou Spark, they commit in for this fight, and it just costs them everything.
Yeah, and it seems like they were really trying to just hold on there. You had Shy going down, Nano becoming available. MCD's debating whether he should use it or not, but they're thinking maybe a 5v6 is still workable here. Give it over to Gooseray, see what he can do with this one. Nearly built up a primal, but eventually Gaga outpaces. Monk goes down, doesn't have to use Nano. And suddenly Chengdu Hunters are way ahead in terms of ultimates. And a big question I had was Lee versus Shy. Who's going to come out on top? Shy gets fragged by Monk. There's obviously no res. There's no mercy. And Nisha's been pocketing Lee the entire time, which makes Shy's job very difficult.
Well, this is a really rough start. I mean, 5 ultimates are going to be online here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. 60% now on the board. Ults are stacking up for the Hangzhou Spark as well, but they're the attacking team now. They have to try to aggress onto Chengdu, get in a position where they can utilize these ultimates. It's just very easy to try to play around that, or it's considerably easier, I should say, to play around that when you are defending, to try to outmaneuver the attackers coming through. TP over onto the point, the leap there from Gushway. Go ahead, start contesting the point. Primal range does get popped. Let's see what he can get done. Jumps in, looks for the lockdown in on the Monks, trying to cleave him, but can't quite get that corner shot to keep the pin. So Monk does manage to escape. Shy with a duplicate. Does get the copy here onto Elsa Kaneki. Oh man! goes in, gets the Death Blossom, takes out 3, and that should just be it. Shy's taking a nap at the moment, and yeah, it's just going to go ahead and start ticking up. Shy does manage to tag the point for just a moment, but nobody is really going to be able to touch. IDK is still so far away, and in front of the Hangzhou home crowd, it'll be the Chengdu Hunters that draw first blood, taking the round 100-0.
I'm going to say this right now. I don't want to single him out too much, but IDK needs to play Mercy here. If he does not play Mercy and Nisha continues to play Mercy, which he will because it's Nisha and it's Chengdu Hunters, Shy is going to get diffed by Leave pretty much the entire evening in an Echo versus Echo. It's not going to be close. Take a look at the replay now of Kaneki finishing things up. No one stopping this. Yep, just dropping on top. No one even sees it coming. I said no sound barrier, but what I was really trying to say is IDK had many opportunities to drop a sound barrier, and once you see the Death Blossom, it's already too late. The best you can do is boop it away, drop a sound barrier, and hope for the best. If you try and drop a sound barrier in the middle of Death Blossom, you are going to Ajax, but MCD also, the Nano didn't come through, so both supports just got fragged. Kaneki coming out on towards the, the Torb now. That's usually Jinwoo's favorite hero. So they're expecting some big dive pressure. This is going to be a very slow composition now coming through the Chengdu Hunters and no Echo for Leave. So maybe this will give Shy some more space to work with.
I mean, you say that, but it will be against the McCree. So still very big opportunities here to punish. As the point's getting ready to unlock, and it's a very forward posture right now for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. So we'll go ahead and just get this cap instantly.
What?
Yeah. It was the Hangzhou Spark. They pulled back. They were waiting for Bernard to swap over onto the Zarya, so they made this shift. It cost them the time to be able to try to push forward. Byron's going to be lobbed to the back. Doesn't manage to clip onto anybody, but Monk is going to be gone. Leaves, taken very low. Will get top back up steadily by Nisha, but falls in the end. MCD finding the kill. Bernard now pressing forward. High energy, 96 right now on the Zarya. Just going to be cleaning them up left, right, and center. And this time, the Hangzhou Spark get on the board with a very fast flip. Only 23% established for Chengdu.
Seems like it was definitely worth it to get the Zarya out on board, and they're heavily playing towards Guangzhou entering now, and then a little bit more support, pop the bubble on top. The energy charge, saw Bernard was at 100 energy, really pumping up the damage. I'll be keeping up with his damage stats in just a moment when I have a look at it. MCD looking over towards the Nano as well. This should go over towards Guangzhou. Actually could go to Bernard if he gets 100 energy again, but we have now 23% found by the Spark. Nano on Guangzhou confirmed.
Goes for the Winston. Flashbang coming out, setting up Guangzhou for the moment. He's got to leap out to safety. Barely just managed to escape, but Shy does provide a good amount of peel as he beats down Leave. So let's allow for the safe exit. Said Bernard, very high energy. May not receive a nano, but can continue to poke and prod forward. Look to build up for this grab. Just 13% away from it right now. Presses behind the barrier. Multiple going to be used. Bionade is massive. 4 members there on the side of the Chengdu Hunters going to be anti-ed out. Shy barely manages to get himself back up before falling down to his death. It's the duplicate out onto the Orisa. Bionade again onto 2. Gaga with really nowhere to go. Will just fall, and that is the team kill. That is the Hangzhou Spark looking absolutely excellent here on Ruins.
It's actually a 3-man Bionade, but Nisha died so fast you didn't even see it. It's just like melted.
There you go.
4-man into a 3-man, 7 players total across 2 cooldowns. What a monster MCD has been on this Ana so far. And this is the reason why Spark are not going to play Lucio Moria, because you have such incredible output out of your current heroes being played by these current players. 85% and counting into the final fight now. 3 ultimates online. That's going to be supercharged from Gaga as they try and push in.
Oh, IDK. Falling low, does manage to survive. Good burst healing coming through to keep him topped up. Bernard getting chunked out, will fall. Gaga finishing up with a couple of headshots. That means he'll grab in this fight. It might just have to be the whole of Hangzhou Spark disconnecting, disconnecting, but pulling back away from the point. But as I say that, Architect decides it's go time. Nisha, however, is in prime position, gets that shield bash. They do find the kill, but it's at the cost of their Orisa. There's obviously nobody to bring him back into the fight. Lee finding the headshot onto Shy, gets rid of the other DPS member on the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Maybe that's going to be enough for them to hold out here, as MCD will also get pushed off the side of the map. So yeah, Hangzhou Spark are going to have to go for this reset. Chengdu Hunters, they're going for a couple additional picks, but Guangzhou will be as good as he gets.
A lot of this comes down to the fact that Bernard does die early. He's respawned, but he can't quite get back to the point in time. So the grab would have made a difference for sure, especially when Hangzhou were trying to fight. I actually assumed, maybe like you did, that Hangzhou were going to pull back, get Bernard down, just give the point over to Chengdu. We'll get it back via the grab, put the Death Blossom in there as well, but they kind of half committed. And now they're in a weird space where they have ultimates, but also not at the same time. Bernard's having to refarm a lot of this energy. By the time Hangzhou are ready to go, you could be seeing Chengdu at the 99%, which would really hinder Hangzhou's chances here.
Try poking out. Duplicate is available. The grab now going to be used, but Bernard throwing it out, manages to get the catcher on the Gaga. Brutality Field is up, and it's behind the barrier, and Leave is there as well with Deadeye. Manages to find IDK. Now the rally's not going to be the fight, and it's at 94% here for the Chengdu Hunters. Maybe that's going to be enough. Shy, he broke it out of the Duplicate, out of the Mac. Will manage to find Gaga in the end.
Rally.
Mex has the self-destruct available to try to clear the point. Rally, rolling first from Nisha. The bomb finds two. Shy can sort of leave and Monk, and just like that, suddenly Hangzhou Spark are back in control.
Wow.
There's no one on the point. And they will take us to well to settle the score.
There was still 4 players live for Chengdu, but no one contesting the point in time. Time really ticked over quite fast there as Hangzhou snuck the cap away. And I thought it was going to come down to a rally versus rally fight because Nisha rallies early, and I'm staring at IDK like this rally from IDK and Nisha come in very quickly, or things are going to be troublesome. If it wasn't for Shy's 2K on the self-destruct, I don't know that Hangzhou can win that fight. And even with the 2K, 4v5 in OT, with the fact that Nisha's rally has been running the whole time, so they got more armor, and IDK's rally it's fresher, but they have to build it up. It's unclear if Hangzhou 100% win that or not. It would have been close for sure. Didn't actually catch this play live, but yeah, Architect shutting down Leave there was pretty massive. I got to also give a shout out to Monk, who dropped in a perfect immortality field behind the pillar, like you said, behind the column.
Yeah.
Protecting, I believe, was Gaga that got caught, and then Leave even finds Deadeye kill while being grabbed in. Beautiful stuff by Chengdu Hunters that nearly gave them that second sub-map, and would have been the 2-0 required to take away Ilios.
I mean, either way, the team has shown really great coordination here for the Hunters. Hangzhou Spark just getting the better of them, at least on that round, but now into the action we go. Teams look to win out on the neutral fights. Leaf coming in up over the top. The beam is going to be good. Find Shy for the first blood in the fight. And with Bernard getting knocked out of the Mac, you'd expect it. Yeah, this is going to be the lockdown there for the Chengdu Hunters yet again. The rest of the Hangzhou Spark scrambling to try to exit, to not give over any additional kills, nor some ult charge. Shy with a nice reply as soon as he comes back. Let's get rid of Leave and forces the burn on the res. So cooldown now gone out of the arsenal here for Hunters. See how they try to retake this point.
Well, they do have Nano available. That should go over to Gushue, and yeah, Shy getting the reply is really important, just keeping Leave honest. But like I said earlier, it should be a Leave diff here because of Nisha. The fact that IDK is not playing the Mercy is going to really put a lot of pressure on towards Shy. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath here. 2 for 2 now. Bernard is going to be knocked out of the mech. Elsa finding that, but now it's at the cost of Nisha. Now Bernard goes down and Gushue will fall. So finally trading up are the Chengdu Hunters, looking to win out in the extended fight. It seems like that's exactly what they're going to be able to do. Architect still poking and prodding around the back here with his Reaper, but does manage to find Gaga on the end.
Yeah, Elsa was on no HP. Gaga doesn't get a primal, so both tanks or Hunters could not exit. Lee, by the way, doesn't use duplicate before he dies. Has to try and do it now. Great res, and now the primal should be available to use.
Oh, man. Wasn't in a punishable position, I suppose. Gushue going to be slapped. We'll have that primal in just a moment. Bomb chucked out, not going to find anything. Leave just going back
the
into
nano's
the duplicate remech. Bomb out from Shy's, looking for something. Not going to be able to find anything either. Monk's going to be the first one eliminated out of the fight. Gushue goes forward, looks for that knock off the side of the map, but I think Kaneki actually managed to TP back onto the platform. Architect using the Death Blossom does send Elsa off the side of the map after breaking his back, and the Hangzhou Spark will be holding this for now, looking to take the map if possible. 3 ults at their disposal here for the moment, but they have to be concerned about this Death Blossom from Kaneki. He had a huge one in the first round of Ilios.
Yeah.
Can he do it again?
We have to flank really hard here. I'm sure IDK and MC are looking out for that now, but it's a similar situation, right? Both supports with both ultimates available. Heartbreaker for Monk, by the way. I think he had his nano boost completely cancelled there, or it went onto Leave's Echo duplicate and just got destroyed. Here comes that Death Blossom, but it did get shut down, so Hangzhou have got this fight underway, with Nisha also dying first. Hangzhou definitely win this.
Yeah, it's looking like that way. Architect, he's out of tools. He's just trying to stay alive. The Mega Pack, or rather the mini pack, is going to be good enough, and the rest of the team does collapse forward to keep him protected. This will be the Hangzhou Spark taking the lead. And I mean, yeah, IDK dead at the start of that last fight. He's not there to shield bash Kaneki, but it doesn't matter because MCD nails off camera a wonderful sleep dart to stop short that Death Blossom. And now IDK comes back in and he's got the rally available, so it's almost a blessing in disguise for him.
He might want to pre-rally pretty soon, actually. You know, just rally for this next fight. It'll probably be the last one anyway. You're about to hit to 99%. Build that armor up before things get wild. Leave and Nisha looking towards ultimates, and here it is. Valkyrie being found. Leave looking for an advantage here. He really needs to try and find one over Shy. He's going for Shy.
Oh. Yeah, they managed to find the kill. Shy taken out, just 5% away from that duplicate. Now Gushwei gone as well. Trade out on the Winstons, but still going to be a man advantage for the Chengdu Hunters. Architect in an awkward spot. The shortest TP that I've ever seen in my life from Kaneki. He just moves 2 feet forward to try to chase Architect, but will not be able to do it. But that will be the flip. And now we're going to be getting into one-fight territory for the Chengdu Hunters as they look for the win. Back in control.
Look for the punish here. Shy on low HP again. That would have been brutal if he was forced to use the duplicate. Speaking of which, Leave was definitely forced to, because Monk failed to get the nano onto Gaga before dying, and Leave had to transform into a tank to try and hold position there. Gaga does have a primal rage now, so I assume this nano should go onto Leave instead, as Leave does take a bit of damage. A lot of ultimates online for Hangzhou, though. This will be a big fight.
Well, Shy is going to be out. He doesn't get the duplicate. Leave manages to finish him off. Finds the beam. Both supports helping out to get that kill. Into the back is Gaga at the moment with the primal rage. Gushwei doing the same, but is antied for the moment. Bernard receives a nano boost, but it's not enough. The focus fire is just absolutely shredding him. Uses the self-destruct. The Death Blossom is there from Kaneki. Shuts down the Baby Diva. Make sure that he does not get back into the mech. Architect using the Death Blossom of his own, manages to find Leaf, follows up for Gaga. Res is instantly there from Nisha, putting the Echo back into the fight. But now Hangzhou Spark are looking pretty good in their odds to be able to take this round.
Leave's in
get
trouble.
This flip. Still in control, and yeah, Leave in trouble, as you say. Was hounded down by Shy. Architect came in for the alley-oop. They confirmed the kill. The bomb sent out as well. Chengdu Hunters need to give it their all if they want to get this flip. The Hangzhou Spark are back in control of the point. The beam up over the top. Shy finds Nisha. Looks for a little bit more. Kaneki is gone. The rally rolls, but it's not even necessary. The Hangzhou Spark, an insanely close first map of Ilios, will barely scrape by the win in front of the home crowd.
And there it is. Hunter's chance to get into June Joust has faltered now. It's been eliminated. They can no longer qualify into the top 4 for APAC into the June Joust. And that means that New York Excelsior have clinched that 4th seed away from both Fusion and Chengdu. And the Spark will obviously still be in the #1 position, but a close engagement. I was looking at multiple points. You know, I go back towards Ruins as well, that 4v5 right towards the end, double rallies coming up, and no one contesting for Chengdu. Really painful at that stage in the game as well. Huge shout out to Architect on well. Architect, I think, did so many good things in that final engagement. He nearly went down to Leave. I think Leave had the focusing beam onto Architect, and he managed to shift away, has a Wraith form available. If it wasn't for that, he dies. If he doesn't die, well, the fact that he doesn't die means he comes in late, puts added pressure on, gets the kill onto Leave, most importantly, and then just continues. I believe Elsa also doesn't get a remake there as well. He throws out a self-destruct, but doesn't get back in the mech. That's another huge death on the side of Chengdu Hunters. That on top of Monk losing a nano earlier. I don't know how he lost a nano. It just, either it got cancelled, like the exact moment he sent it out, he also dies, or it goes into Leave's duplicate, and the duplicate gets destroyed as well. So either of those two scenarios, but couple things there just going poorly for Chengdu, and massive clutch performance, even though Shy, I think, had a rough kind of series of engagement versus Leave. You have a Mercy Pocket Echo versus just a regular Echo. It's going to go one way. The rest of the squad of Hangzhou really stepped up. MCD, huge bio-nades on Ruins as well.
A huge bio-nade, sleep darts to cut off those Death Blossoms as well. So really good performance for the Hangzhou Spark. It does suck, for the Chengdu Hunters, knowing that they are not going to be able to, participate in the June Joust, but they still have a series to play. They're still looking for that upset win in front of the Hangzhou fans. We'll see if they're going to be able to get it done and put a map win on the board when we get ready to go into Volskaya. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. The action continues soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're just one map into our final series of the evening. Hangzhou Spark already locked into their first place spot. They get the first map of this set, and unfortunately for the Chengdu Hunters, that is the end of their hopes of participating in the June Joust from competing against North America. NYXL have locked in that top 4 spot. But there's still a series to be played. There are still fans in a venue watching live. And the Chengdu Hunters is still going to be looking to perform and make this a competitive series. So we go yet again into the breach as we get ready to take on Volskaya Industries to see if this is going to be a match point play for the Hangzhou Spark or if Chengdu Hunters can tie it up and keep things nice and tight.
Yeah, I think the battle may be lost, but the war continues here. The war effort, the campaign for the Chengdu Hunters to make playoffs for the entire year. Maps count here, map differential, as we painfully learned today via the Philadelphia Fusion, really does matter. So getting some map wins here versus the Spark, even if they can't make June Joust, will be very duly noted for their potential to get into the end-of-year playoffs, which will still definitely on the minds of the Chengdu Hunters. So putting on a great show here. I don't expect a 3-0 from either side, which is why 3-0 from Hunters to get a June Joust would have been a crazy good story to tell, but would have been a very difficult feat to achieve. No substitutions coming on through, so Kaneki stays in. There's no Jimmy, that means no Widowmaker. I do have some concerns in that regard, but Chengdu might just play more of a ground-based composition, a little bit more brawly. Kaneki starting out on towards a Torb. I don't know if he'll stay there. I think when he realized that Architect is also just obviously playing... Hang on, what's this going on? Leave just kill Shy. Although that can just happen. But Kaneki might go Reaper in some stage, is what I'm going to say.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Bionade out onto both tanks here on the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but that Immortality field is getting so much value, and now Monk Anisha will be able to profit off of that. All that HP there from Elsa, just going to be topping him back up, fueling these ultimates, give them a nice little lead, and just like that, Chengdu Hunters are ticking up. Architect around the back is just going to die. Yep, nothing much else that could have been done there.
That's revenge
he's
for
just
us, man.
dead. Yep, hook in on the Goose Way, they get the finish, and that is just point A, basically going to be gone.
Shy barely gets out alive a second time as well. That would have been a late death otherwise. And again, this is going to be the toughest matchup, and I was waiting for this matchup as well. Lee versus Shy on the Echo, because Shy was starting to look pretty good on Echo, but Lee is really leading Echo stats across the board in multiple areas. One of the best Echoes, if not, I think the best Echo in the league currently. And then pocketed by Nisha, one of the best Mercies in the league. It's a dangerous combo. MCD can fire to start things out with the B attack. B defense.
Yep. Ooh, looking for that hold hook, doesn't really manage to make that happen, but Lee again with an opening pick, this time onto Architect. One tick already going to be taken. They are just moving up, and no one is contesting the point. 64%. They do finally manage to touch back in, but just like that, they're off the point. Grab comes in from Leaf with the duplicate. It's a lockdown onto Bernard. He absolutely vanishes off the face of the map.
So
and this is a complete and utter speed run at the hands of the Chengdu Hunters. They can just close this out. Shy back into the fray, low HP, almost eliminated, but Leaf is still here. He is doing work.
Holy.
And what in the hell just happened? Chengdu Hunters come back in with a vengeance, and they take their push on Volskaya. They get the 2-0 here with 5 minutes and 12 seconds still remaining.
Okay, dude, I don't care what Matt Mercil's doing right now. Wake him up. He needs to tell me. I need to know right now. What are the records for Volskaya? Because that is dirty. Oh, what are we talking about there? That's a 1 minute 48? Is my math correct on that? 1 minute 48, I think, for both points combined. Has to be. Let's take a look at that opening frag here from Lee coming on in. Just connecting those left clicks. Beautiful stuff. Obviously damage boosted by Nisha, but that 6v5 is what gets the ball rolling for the Chengdu Hunters, and they never really stop. It, you know, when we talk about snowball here, it's really just turning into an avalanche. Downhill the entire way, and Hangzhou Spark are tumbling all the way down to, you know, the base.
It's absolutely nuts. I mean... What more can you say about it? That was just insane from the side of the Hunters. Just no relenting whatsoever. Just constantly pushing towards the Hangzhou Spark, and they just crumbled under the pressure.
Some players didn't get a single ult. Burner was on 92% when he died. He didn't get a single ultimate that entire defensive phase. It's rough. Did Gushray get a primal? I don't think he did. this is part of the problem, right? If you have grab, you have the primals, you have a longer fight, just slightly longer, a bit more damage done. Spark hold on, maybe they even reset, play towards the defensive spawn advantage there, but they just didn't get that opportunity. So this Esker's has to be an incredible attack now. I don't think they can match 5-12, but let's say they get 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, it can still be competitive for the Spark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking back now 2 years ago where the Chengdu Hunters shattered records on this very map. I don't know if it's been broken since then. Obviously, like, we have had changes to Assault in the way the time bank works and, you know, how much time you can get and whatnot. But yeah, I remember them finishing with like over 6 minutes at one point. The whole map took about 8.5 minutes to complete. So this map, very clearly, still good for the Chengdu Hunters. Deep TP into the back here from Architect. Valiant does connect onto Monk. Charity Field keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but needs to get topped up by Nisha, which will happen. Turret for now going to be the only casualty that we see as Architect looks to get rid of Kaneki, and he manages to do so. Now is chasing in, trying to finish off Monk, and he will have him. You would expect, but Monk, he takes a quick little hop up in the air, comes out on top. Nisha and Leave still going to be dead in the meanwhile, as Monk will get dove on well into the back, and this should be the cap onto A here for the Hangzhou Spark. So still relatively fast. You know, if you're going to do a direct comparison, not quite there, but it's still really good.
Well, they need a double cap here. The issue here now is that Monk will have the amplification matrix ready to go, and great kill onto Architect. That probably helps out in that regard. But killing Kaneki is kind of weird to me because you saw Architect, he revealed his position. He was actually pumping spam damage, and I think it was Elsa. But some reason, Kaneki just didn't realize Architect was there. He should not have been caught out at all, and that really is, you know, how the stack of cards start falling apart for the Chengdu Hunters, just losing player at a time, and then everyone else dying. Shai's looking over towards his duplicate is on 91%. It's not going to be a fast double cap. I mean, look, 5 minutes left now, so about 10 seconds ago, Chengdu finished the map. Now it's about whether Hangzhou can just get it done on this attempt or not. Because if they can't get it here, it's going to take them several minutes.
Just talk about that statement. It's not going to be a fast cap. Like, they still have 5 minutes. It's still a fast cap. It's just the comparison is so stark.
Yeah, sure.
Different. It's ridiculous.
Spark make it Chengdu make it unfair.
Yeah. But that is going to slow them up considerably as they go ahead and pick off the remaining members of the Hangzhou Spark. IDK just trying to stay alive here. Hugging into the corner, trying to keep Bernard protected, but they won't be able to do so. They cannot preserve any of the energy, so it's going to have to be a reset. It's good little staggers in the back end here from the side of the Chengdu Hunters, who look well at home in Volskaya.
That was really well measured as well, because a lot of teams can overcommit, then you get punished, but getting the kill to Burner is fantastic because it resets the energy, like you said. The kill to IDK is just a bonus. I mean, that just gives a little bit more extra ultimate to your team, of which you have 5 ultimates now. Monk is halfway over towards his next Amp Matrix. You're down to 4 minutes now, so one fight loss costs you a single minute here. And I was saying, like, even 3 to 4 minutes could be good for Spark, but to get a 3-minute cap, Spark would have to cap now, and Hunters would have to make some big mistakes, because Hunters, to me, have way too many ultimates to lose this in this fight.
You would think, but those are famous last words, or at least a cast occurs that has happened many a time. Bionade's going to be good, flips on to 2. Looking for the follow-up, Monk falling low. It will force out the Immortality Field. Gushway gets his way into the back. Molten Core from Kaneki will find Architect. The cost of Leave, so 1-for-1 as far as the DPS are concerned, but Leave obviously significantly faster run back time. Bomb from Elsa finds Bernard, self-bubble just not going to be available. The grab not going to happen here in the fight, and that is just about everything used. Still will have a potential grab Death Blossom.
Oh, no way!
This is looking at that would have been
no, he didn't get it. Kaneki
Give some
Nisha
squats,
stole
though.
it. Nisha stole it. We're going to have some words about that afterwards. Nisha, how dare you? Why would you steal away a hammer kill? Even if Kaneki dies there, like, it'd be funny anyway. MCD's going to reset, it's just a bit of a laugh. But Nisha stealing it, that's, I'm going to say it, that's kind of unsportsmanlike. You don't steal 12 hammer kills. That's, like you said, unacceptable for sure. But Architect and Bernard dying there without having a chance to use their ultimates is definitely going to put a hamper in Shock's ability to push here. Architect dying somehow to the Molten Core is really strange. I don't know how you do that as a Reaper when you have so many abilities to get away from it and also just, I don't know, TP onto the high ground and play elsewhere, play on a flank. It's weird. I don't know.
Alright, well. Time bank considerably drained now as Leave goes in with a dead eye. That is just going to be Gushway gone out of the fight. No way to bring him back, and yet again, Hangzhou Spark have to just pull back, reset, get ready to go again, but every single time they try to approach this, it's just one thing or another. One person getting shut down. absolutely bonkers here. Chengdu Hunters looking alive, looking strong at the moment on Volskaya. And I mean, even if Hangzhou do finish this map, I mean, realistically, can they win it? Just given that there's over 5 minutes
3-minute
there
difference
for Chengdu. Yeah.
Well, it's a 3-minute difference to start with. It could be larger than that, by the way.
Yeah, it very well could
primal.
be. See what's going to happen. Shy duplicates the McCree. See what he can get done. Grab is out, but not really in a position to try to get that dead eye off. Just, yeah, he's just taking out these turrets in the back. Great D-Matrix is up from Elsa. Keeps Leaf protected, and now follows up, gets the kill with melee hit. Eliminates Shy, and this is just looking more and more likely to be a hold at B for the Chengdu Hunters.
There's a rally there as well. I mean, there's multiples coming online. Leave another Deadeye. We hit Frag Gooshway on that one. I think this is the same Death Blossom Architect has held on to for like 3 fights now. Just can't find an opportunity to drop one in. Bernard drops a grab that goes nowhere. Well, it goes somewhere, but they can't utilize it. No Nano either, so Gooshway just dives in, hoping for the best.
Spamming the hammer, the Deadeye up yet again. Tries to go for the shot. Managed to find any kills, does get taken out. The Death Blossom is there from Architect. You see the D-Matrix just absorbing as much as it possibly can. The turret, the only casualty from that. Shy, however, opens things up, manages to find 3. Kaneki, Gaga, and Nisha all going to be eliminated. Self-destruct going to be used. He dips around the back. The bomb not going to be able to find anything. And finally, the Hangzhou Spark are in onto the point.
Died.
Nano boost does come through. Shy, be looking to drag this back across the finish line for them. Keep things going. Keep them in the fight. Try to keep some time in the time bank. Goes in for the uppercut on the back of the duplicate. Kaneki has to bail out. Goes back into the spawn room. Meteor Strike now online. Shy using it, jumps into the back, looks for Monk. Mortality Field is forced, but Gooshway comes in, manages to find the kill, and the Hangzhou Spark are so very close. Chengdu Hunters, they try their damage to push that into OT. They cannot quite make it happen, but it's going to be a minute in the time bank for the Spark to 6 minutes and 5 seconds for the Chengdu Hunters. That's absurd.
So what is that? A 7-second difference in terms of a draw scenario and not. So that means Hangzhou Spark capped with roughly about 7 seconds remaining to push up to 6:05. First of all, I've never seen a 6:05 time bank. That's my first. That is 6 times the difference in time bank. 6 times the amount. But fun fact, by the way, 55 seconds off from the total time you're allowed on Volskaya. For any assault map, you get 7 minutes total. 6:05 out of 7 minutes is 55 seconds off. Basically what it comes down to is Chengdu nearly have an entire full Volskaya attacking time again in time bank. And Hangzhou Spark nearly didn't even get it before the OT hit, so I'm glad we don't have a draw scenario. I'm glad we're going to play this one out properly, but Hangzhou Spark would be, you know, an understatement to say they have a mountain climb. This will be a mountain climb with 0 mountaineering gear. Just do it with your hands.
Yeah. I can't even, I was going to think of some kind of weird simile, but I can't.
It's feel like trying to swim with a massive weight attached to you onto all 4 limbs.
Well, Architect is going back to the tried and true.
Sorry, is this Hangzhou or Guangzhou we're watching?
Yes. It's the average shows, you know, but Hangzhou has been well above average as of late. But on this map so far, not really. Half the time bank going to be gone. IDK and Shine dead off the bat. Architect gets a whopping 15% of a blade. And I'm not sure how I feel about this when you don't have a Mercy to pocket it. When you have the damage boosted Genji, you can build these blades really quickly, but I don't know how I feel about it without the Mercy.
No, and you're playing into Torb, by the way. Kaneki's brought out a Torb, and he was going to play Torb anyway. You don't want to play Genji to Torb. Torb is kind of like a soft counter to Genji. It's just all kinds of wrong, sadly. They might get a Nano again. Nano's their only hope.
Well, Bio doesn't find anything. That gets eaten. Goochway chewed up. Leave. Taking him down. Bernard getting shredded right now in the mech as he tries to keep him alive. The Nano Boost almost online. Desperately needs that. Sleep Dart does go through, but that's the break on Bernard's mech, and the Baby Dino's going to be finished off. The Nano Boost invested onto Shy, and he needs to do some serious work, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be able to happen. Everybody collapses in onto the Echo, and there you go. The hold happens, and it's just one tick. And so help me God, if this ends up being a 6-minute and 5-second hold to the Hangzhou Spark and the series, they've won. Give them a 3-0 score line. We don't need to play any more maps. If they can pull this off, they absolutely deserve it.
I mean, this would be more impressive than 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, I think.
Yes.
A 6-minute 05 defense for 1 tick when you are massively unfavored. Bit of a replay showing the final fight as well. Shy gone off. He got how many kills? 3 or 4? Just huge stuff. I mean, he's on the back line. Chengdu have nowhere to go. Chengdu try and pull to the back left and straight into the stickies. Beams, tri-shots of Shy. And then he gets a copy onto Kaneki's Doom as well. Really weird thing towards the end there is Leave came out on the Doom, walked back in the spawn, and decided to come out as a Bastion. Now, that would be okay if your team was alive and the Bastion's just there kind of doing some damage, but his team was completely fragged. I think he just comes out on a Doom, would be fine. And then Kaneki on, you know, Reaper or May, something that can stall for a little while, because all they really want to do there is just secure themselves that OT. I guess they've done it anyway, they just did it the long way around. Now they are in that OT spot where they get to, you know, spend 605 attacking. They just need the 1 tech, so we get back to where Chengdu was supposed to be, where they wanted to be after that B defense. This is, you can, Chengdu have so much time, they can literally just wait until they have 6 ultimates they want to. If they want to spend like 5 minutes just to get 6 ultimates and roll over Hangzhou, I mean, that's even an option. That's just giving an example of how one-sided this attack should now be.
Yeah. It's just, you know, the map is their oyster right now. They can do basically whatever they want. Which way? Jumped out. Just back over to the point to try to stay safe. The hook's not going to connect, so just put that on cooldown at least for the next 7 seconds.
Dick.
Very close. Playing a very dangerous game. They're pushing for, oh, the finish on Elsa would have been a huge boon for them, but Mortality Kill will save him, and that is just fueling this Amp Matrix for Monk. Things that much scarier. Bernard gets pulled in. That's the break on the mech. He's going to look to pistol his way back through, but now IDK out of the fight. It's all on MCD. The Nano Boost is rolling on Architect, who needs to get some serious value. But the hook is right there, and everybody collapses. Leave finds the finishing blow. Shy only able to find Monk thus far, but it's going to be the Chengdu Hunters in onto the point. Shy eliminated here. And that should be it. Bongo down just for good measure. The cleanup comes through. And still with 4 minutes and 47 seconds remaining, the Chengdu Hunters will take Volskaya Industries to tie us up 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, they had 6 minutes, but they only needed like, what, 1 minute 18 there to get it across the board. So 1 attempt, you could see how good their push was just from the fact that, you know, the first push, they chunk Goose right down to half. He jumps towards the point. Hangzhou lose all their positioning, like, instantaneously, and this is already an improvement over the initial Hangzhou Spark A defense where in regulation time, Shy got completely demolished by Leave straight away, and that gave the 6v5. Here, they didn't give a fast 6v5. If Architect couldn't get more damage done while teleporting over, you know, that was the only way I could see them doing it. Then you'd buy some time for MCD as well. Speaking of MCD, on their own 1 minute time they could attack. He had 2 of his Bionades eaten away by Elsa's Diva, so huge plays by Elsa to just deny MCD. You know, you want to get past MCD's Ana, you want to get past this MVP Ana that we saw yesterday, just completely, you know, put the Matrix on top of him and prevent him from playing the game.
Yeah, it was really good stuff overall, you know, from the entirety of the Chengdu Hunters. I mean, we'll have to get a confirmation on it. It seems like it's got to be, I mean, that's got to be in like the top 3 fastest, if not like the fastest, maybe even just top 2. Like, that was such a speed run there on Volskaya, so wonderful stuff from them. A great reply after that map 1 loss. So we are tied up 1-1. This is not going to be a 3-0, and that is damn exciting. The series is going to continue. We'll see who will take another step forward towards victory when we come back from the break, so do not go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Pringles. Stay in the game. And by NetApp, the official data management partner of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, we are back and getting ready to jump into our third map. We're tied up 1-1 between the Chengdu Hunters and the Hangzhou Spark, and we're going to be heading to Numbani yet again. But man, what a Volskaya! If you just suddenly tuned in right now in this very moment, what a map that was. Chengdu Hunters, potentially shattering records. We'll have to wait and get some confirmation on that. But now we get to see what happens on Numbani, because in our last series we did see the Seoul Dynasty speedrun Numbani, so maybe somebody else could take a crack at it here.
Yeah, that was like what, 404. I remember it because of the 404.
Yeah, it was 404.
That's how we get that. Also, imagine you put a really funny thought in my brain that you're like, if you just tuned in. Imagine if you just tuned in and all you see is a 605 time bank. You got to be like, what just happened? How is there a 605 time bank? What is
that
about?
definitely happened. There was definitely somebody who just went like, what the hell did I do?
I watched the whole thing and I'm so flabbergasted. I'm like, what is happening? I saw the whole thing. So onto Numbani we go. And again, neither team is going to go towards Lucia Moira at all. Hangzhou Spark is 6-1 in all matches all time against Chengdu, so the only loss coming in week 25 of 2020, and that's actually something that got brought up by Gushwei in an interview he did on Billy's, where he was saying that their record versus Chengdu is very good and proven by stats there. So he was quite confident they were going to be able to beat the Chengdu Hunters. But after that last map, I think Hangzhou are going to need to do a bit of a step up here, because that was a dominant, brutal display by Chengdu, and Hangzhou are going to show a little bit more than that. Hangzhou, as first seed in June Joust for APAC, they got to look like a first seed team.
Yeah, and I also don't think I'm incorrect or being rude in saying that this is like the first year that Chengdu Hunters look like a seriously, like contender team in the Overwatch League. Before, this year, it's always been
I'd probably agree with
stray.
That.
Yeah, it's been some stray victories here and there, some really close series. Like you think back to them versus the OG Vancouver Titans.
Well, sadly, they started in Ghost,
like.
Yes. They had to try and counterplay Ghost by not playing Ghost. So first year was a bit weird. And things started getting a bit more serious after that.
now, I guess we could say.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you do have to respect it. So the numbers only take you so far. They're onto the high ground. Gushwei pushing back up. Ooh, yeah. On the damage on the Gaga. He's getting pocketed back up, and it's actually going to be Gushwei the first one to fall. Good trade back as Elsa pursues forward, manages to find that kill. Beam out from Leave. Will take the break onto Bernard's mech, and he will be eliminated. Gaga just waiting for the leap, comes back through. Would love to get this kill onto Architect, but knows how much damage a Reaper can output, so will show some respect. Doesn't want to push forward, get himself eliminated. So plays it out patiently, and he's got that primal lead.
This is now finally Nanos online. That all happened without Nanos available because Nanos came in very slowly. Neither MCD nor Monk got a sub 1 minute Nano yet, which is kind of my target. We'll see the Nano come on through now. MCD onto Gushwei. Should be living for a while. Would love to build up a primal, but he's starting to get a bit of a deficit. And then
up to the left MCD. Gaga just counter dives, goes into the back line, and that's the support's gone. So the play works out way better for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Now with Gushwei falling. I mean, Shai, he's committed to duplicate to this fight. He will be using the self-destruct, trying to find some sort of pick, but it won't lead to anything other than a kill onto Monk. So now with Architect gone, everybody else still coming back, trying to rejoin the fight, and the res is there for the Ana. It's going to be the Chengdu Hunters maintaining control of this point for the time being.
And the counter dive is good because when you're the defending team and you know the attacking team are inside this main street choke, I mean, Gaga can just drop on both the supports, whereas I think it's harder for Gushwei to find the same targeting. Less support coming on through as well. When look at this, Gaga, and he knows he's got primal though, so he's fine.
Oh yeah, he's trying to juke out the sleep dart, it would look like here. Deny the entrance into the spawn room. Yeah, juggles MCD around. Perfectly done by him. And this is just starting to really unravel for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. I mean, a strong start for them. It was still back and forth, Grant, mind you, on Ilios, but they got that win. But they have not really found any stability since then.
I'm glad we're highlighting Gaga a little bit here because Gushwei for the longest time has been like the solidified #1 main tank out of China. And I think Gaga in his rookie season is kind of, he's trying to take the crown. This is a big matchup for Gaga because Gushwei is the one guy that's you'd say is probably ahead of it, but after this match you might have to rethink that one, redraw the lines a little bit because Gaga's been looking phenomenal. He could be Rookie of the Year candidate here as well, and if he can beat Gushwei, that would certainly give him credence.
Yeah, absolutely. Rookie of the year, I was just thinking that as we started talking about him. Definitely is that potential. Guangzhou looking to turn their fortunes around as he goes in with the Primal Rage. Disengages, checking the backside of the point, making sure there's nobody over there. Self-destruct's going to be used. MCD is gone again. This time, not going to be able to use an nano. He dies as soon as he pops the rally. That is catastrophic. Bernard self-destruct does manage to find Elsa's mag, meaning that Architect can open things up with a Death Blossom, finding one, and the bomb from Shy finds two. On the back foot now are the Chengdu Hunters as they look to hold the point. Leave, however, is here, and he still has the duplicate. Drops down, they're looking to focus fire him out of this, which they will be able to do. Pop him out, back into the Echo form, and he will get finished off. Ticking up here on the point are the Hangzhou Spark. They will be able to get this cap, so not going to be a full hold. But that was way too close, way too dangerous for them, and they cannot afford to have that happen. Nor that, as Shy gets picked off.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the IDK Mercy. Finally, they're like, you know what? We might need to match Nisha here. Like 3-4 maps deep. 3 maps deep, rather. Another thing here as well, IDK is like the king of late rallies. Like, he pops rally so, like, you need to pop rally early to actually build some armor. And he pops it, he just dies. That's really upsetting to see from the Hangzhou Spark perspective. I think you also need a new flowchart just for the Hangzhou Spark that says, can Shy get a double kill in the self-destruct? If yes, then you can win the fight.
Yeah. Well, Primal online again for Gaga. Chengdu Hunters take the fight right up here at the initial corner. Which way going to be res back in. Shy taking the beam out, takes out Leave. Is nanoed here for the moment. Now has the duplicate available. Kaneki, that was a very wanting Death Blossom and gets shut down almost immediately. Gaga into the back line, does manage to find one. Nisha eliminated though. We have such a scrappy back and forth. And it's, you know, it's kind of hard to say who's going to be winning out on this one. Monk getting pursued on just a little bit there by Guangzhou. Will be able to stay alive. Literally, okay, he's just going to charge in. He wants to reset. He's not going to be able to escape, it would seem.
Yeah, Spark get to continue the push. They've also got 4 ultimates, nearly 5 online. So not only do they slowly win their fight, and I do emphasize slowly because it costs them a decent amount of time. They're down to 1 minute now. But they get to bank up a lot of resource to maybe snowball C, and snowballing C is going to be the only way I think they can finish this map now, because capping B in overtime typically means you will not finish the map. Nambani is super hard to cap unless you have decent time coming out of B. So let's see how they use these ults and how many get forced.
Yeah, minute and a half bump is not going to be great. Guangzhou saw him diving into the back there, at least momentarily, and Shy goes in with the duplicate, manages to find Leave. A good early elimination now with the self-destruct online. Rez does come out, the bomb's up over the top, he's looking for the Mercy, and he will find him. Great punish from Shy, shutting down Nisha for getting that Rez. Leave now going to be out of the fight as well as Bernard gets himself involved in the action of the Hangzhou Spark, are getting this push going. So far, it's only been the use of, what, 2 ultimates here? So we'll roll in, we'll get that extra minute and a half added into the time bank. But like you said, very difficult map to finish. This is not a lot of time to work with.
And especially if Gaga can then get a Primal Rage as well, leave us a duplicate if they can use that sparingly to, you know, just stall things out further. I can see this going into OT without, you know, too much to spare here. So Spark need a lot of snowball potential. This has to be like just momentum pushing the whole way. If they get reset even once, I have concerns that Spark probably don't finish here. So this next nano coming on through has to be pretty good. Maybe even put on the Shy, because IDK's gone back to Brig, so no more boosting. Shy definitely gets it, and they'll take down Monk.
Yeah, that is a sleep that you cannot afford to miss. Monk whiffing it, then gets eliminated. Architect with a very nice kill. Leaf makes it back to the back there. We'll use the self-destruct, but won't be able to find anything. The Hangzhou Spark right now finding the momentum. After nearly being held on point A, they have a very solid push coming through. Rounding the final corner, looking to get to C. Gaga, almost with a Primal Rage, though, can buy them a lot of time.
This is going to come down to Architect. Kaneki's got to go in for the Death Blossom as well. He has an nano boost available, looking for the opportunity. Has to outplay Bernard possible. Shy now with a second Diva. That's going to make things difficult.
Self-destruct up over the top from Bernard. The Wraith Walk is there.
Actually,
the self-destruct finds Leave. That is catastrophic here for the defense on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. The Death Blossom opening up, takes out Nisha. And just like that, one after the other, they will string in onto the card, but they will also fall. Death Blossom from Kaneki yet again, not going to be able to find anything. Gets shut down immediately. They will finish the map with time to the Hangzhou Spark. 13 seconds remaining. But given how this map started, you know, if you're a Hangzhou fan, you will breathe a sigh of relief that they were able to make it to the end.
And you're thankful that Shy once again finds a clutch 2K self-destruct duplicate copy kill. You know, I think it was on A that got them that point as well. and that looked like a losing fight. Like, this could have been a potential full hold on A. You know, multiple things could have gone, just as I said, and here it is. This is the fight I'm talking about. There's like 15 seconds remaining now. 4v5. Leave dies without duplicating. I just saw that now. I didn't realize Leave died without duplicating. But the 2K onto Gaga and Monk is brutal. And
yeah,
from that point onwards, Spark get a decent roll through. B was fairly good. C, they actually won the entire way, and that's what I'm talking about. You don't cap C in that scenario unless you snowball the entire way through, and they did slowly snowball. It wasn't a fast building, definitely no avalanche. We're not talking about Chengdu and Volskaya here. It's a slow rolling thing. We're picking up, you know, more snow as we go along, and eventually they'll just take it on home. I think a big mistake that got made by Chengdu was Monk drops a nano onto Kaneki, and that becomes so obvious as to what you're trying to do there. Obviously, he's trying to go for Blossom. Shy responds immediately by duplicating Diva. When there's 2 Divas on the field with defense matrices, Kaneki can't do anything. He's not going to go for the ultimate there. I think you want to nano leave or Gaga there. Maybe not Gaga because he's got Primal, so nano leave, and then Gaga can engage with Primal, and Kaneki just TPs, you know, tries to work his way on the map, really sneaky like what Architect does, and then finds like 1 kill on the Death Blossom. That could have been okay, but I feel like they kind of misappropriated some of those ultimates. And then also leave died to self-destruct.
Yeah, it's not been a great look on this map in particular for Kaneki with the Reaper, so he's going to swap it up. Goes for the Genji on the attack, as we so many teams you know, doing these days. See if he can make it work. Leap over to the side. Beam not going to find any values. The bubbles are there, but Zarya and Winston just blocking out the damage. Then sticky bombs into the back. Really chunk out MCD, but IDK is there to go ahead and pop it back up.
Sleep.
Good amount of damage coming through. Leave dipping back into the bubble. And Gucci is there, and that bubble completely cuts off any support that he can possibly receive, so he will fall. Push into the back to Kaneki as well as Leave. Leads to Shy dropping. 2 members now gone. On the side of the Hangzhou Spark, the Chengdu Hunters, they establish ground on the point. Yeah, it looks like that's just going to be the cap. There's nothing that can be done at this point. Kaneki, while he might not have a blade online, is still doing some serious work. Picking up these kills, steadily building up for that Dragon Blade. Cap now.
I gotta say as well,
5 minutes 20 seconds.
Monk landed a great sleep down of MCD, and Chengdu opted not to wake him up or try and kill him, which means MCD slept for the full duration, which means no healing. The reason why Gucci and Burner die, which includes Gaga's well-placed bubble, is the fact that there just isn't healing, because it's just IDK on a Brig. Your main heal in the Ana is completely gone just by the sleep dart, and they find the tank kills off the back of it. So massive plays by Chengdu off a well-placed sleep dart from Monk, and that's going to be, you know, 4 minutes 50 counting up as we move over towards B. Bernard's not quite on towards a grab. Energy probably low. Receives a nano.
I mean, he's keeping decent pace right now with Kaneki. He's got the nano boost rolling. If you can get the grab up before the blade, then it can at least use that to try to shut it down. But Leaf, he goes in for the duplicate. Copies Bernard. Still building it up rather slowly, though. Doesn't quite have that grab online, but now he gets it, pulls the trigger on it immediately. They get the lock in, and that's going to be IDK eliminated from the fight. Just 15% shy of that rally. Now Bernard gone. Loses out on his energy. That reset comes through. Architect, just a single kill on the Leave. It will be as good as it gets. And the cart is making some serious pace right now for the Chengdu Hunters, almost at B.
And as a reminder as well, you want to compare how teams have played this. And Gooshray's in the back line, just by the way, I don't even know how he was there. It was an overtime cap pretty much for the Hangzhou Spark, and now attempting to defend this at the final precipice of B. The Primal Rage will delay for some time, and Grav needs to come through. There it is.
Blade out, looking for some targets. It's actually going to be the Hangzhou Spark who managed to find the first 2. Now a third. Bernard will take down Kaneki. Monk is going to be gone. And with just Gaga left over on the cart, he will get farmed out. Shy picking up multiples here in the fight, and the cart will be stopped just in front of point B. Very well done there by the Hangzhou Spark. Let's see if they can continue this, though, because it's still going to be 3.5 minutes in the time bank for the Chengdu Hunters.
Yeah.
Kaneki now going to be swapping the Torb.
I mean, there's no nano there for the Blade. Kaneki was thinking about the Reaper, now he's thinking about the Torb instead. So maybe the Torb is a good response to Gooshrey specifically. Now, Nano Boost online for Monk, Leave with the Duplicator as well. I think you definitely give this one over towards Leave. Nietzsche's even got Brig now, so no more mercies on either side.
Duplicate again from Leave, goes for the Zarya, gets the bubbles out, Gaga pressing forward. Hasn't been able to really line anybody up yet, but starts getting some serious damage in, looking to build up that grab. Still has to play around this Diva from Shy, but the grab will be good. Locks him in. Monk could be the first one to fall, traded out as IDK. will get eliminated by the sticky bombs. Finds Gaga, so it's going to be a 2-for-1, still in favor of the Hangzhou Spark, who are looking great at this point. B defense.
And Monk's changing as well. This is kind of falling apart now for Chengdu. You normally don't see teams hold B, by the way. B is probably the rarest point of all three for a team to kind of fail attacking. Normally teams get past B without too much fanfare. So for Hunters to walk on B with how much time? 450, nearly 5 minutes, to then kind of fail. And I mean, I don't mean to be too presumptuous, but you look at Hangzhou's ultimates, they're walking up towards another grab. Bernard's been surviving. He's definitely going to have energy available here. Fresh ultimates for Chengdu. Kaneki at least has a pretty fast multi-call. See if that ends up doing too much. Architect low.
Oh, Immortality Field forced out. Turret's gone. Gushway going into the back, but he is getting shredded at the moment as they try to keep him alive. Down to double digit 1 HP. He is literally 1 HP. Somebody heal him. Somebody heal him. Okay, he's finally getting heals. Oh my god. That is insane. With the Primal Rage all the way down to literally 1 HP. Gushway managed to survive, now has the Nano Boost, and looks to re-aggress. The grab is absolutely massive. The Immortality Field to try to keep them alive, but it's just too much damage being pushed out. Gushway is already at 85% of another Primal Rage.
That's crazy.
The cleave is insane. Great plays there from the Hangzhou Spark, but the cart continues to inch forward just slightly. Also, however, getting hit by that anti, will get knocked out. The turret will get picked off in the end. Hangzhou Spark very well may make this defense work at point B.
Yeah, he's going to have a primal for the second fight now. 1 HP surviving is insane. It's just ridiculous. I mean, to live on 1 HP,
crazy.
You always feel bad if you end up losing someone literally on 1. It's like you could have just breathed on them, and it would have been enough. MCD pops in a nano. He's well and truly alive and ready to go. Uses that nano to build up most of his next Primal Rage. And under 40 seconds now for the Chengdu Hunters to make one last attempt of it. Like I said, most teams don't drop here, but with Bernard dying, this could be the opportunity. 6v5.
Well, the D-Matrix not going to last long enough there from Shy, so yeah, it does get knocked out. Tries to go for the remake, but it will not be allowed to happen. IDK eliminated, Shy gone. That is going to be the cap, so not going to be held here. But not going to be working with that much time for the side of the Hunters. Similar story for the Hangzhou Spark. They got to the end. Let's see if they can stop them. Hunters pushing forward. The Molten Core almost up.
Alrighty. I mean, this is basically similar territory for Chengdu that it was for Hangzhou in the same space, right? They need snowball momentum here. They really can't afford to be reset. Good news for Hangzhou is they will have Primal Rage in the backline with a nano boost as well. Chengdu working on ultimates. That's a brilliant kill. 2! What? How does Kaneki do this?
Kaneki comes up with 2. He's going to be looking for a third. Just taking those pawn shots in towards Bernard. Can't quite find the hits, but now Shy gone. That's an effective team kill coming through for the Chengdu Hunters. In the final stretch, yeah, Molten Core. I mean, you can just go ahead, pop this, and just spray right over towards the spawn doors. He's going to lay it down right in front, but touch does come through onto the card. Gushway playing forward, trying to keep this contested. He gets rid of the bongo. MCD is dead to the Molten Core, but the nano was thrown out onto Gushway to try to keep him alive. Rally now expiring. Not that much armor out to the members of the Hangzhou Spark, and IDK does get eliminated on the back end. Bernard knocked out of the mech. They're just trying to buy time here realistically at this point. Somebody's got a touch. Shy tries to go for it, but cannot make it happen. It's going to be a 23-second advantage this time for the Chengdu Hunters. Significantly better for Hangzhou compared to what we saw on Volskaya, but still really rough time banks to work with for either of these squads, meaning that this could just end up in a draw.
Don't say those words, man. That's a cursed word. That word starting with a D, no, I'm not having it. I don't like that at all.
Telescope.
But oh my goodness, how have you swayed the Senate once again? Let's take a look at Kaneki here, and this is what we've been waiting for, right? I mean, I teased this to start with. I was like, you know, maybe he's gone tall to try and put some more pressure on towards Gushway, and we'll be able to just land a fat right click straight to the dome. Turns around, MCD's in the hallway. Why not? And yeah, how about a 6v4 to get the party started on C? A snowball required for both teams. I don't know what impresses me more. The fact that Hangzhou Spark nearly didn't cap A and then managed to get a decent run through B and C, or the fact that Chengdu capped A in record time and then nearly got held at B. Like, both these teams, for the differences of what happened on the A and B points, C points were identical pretty much, and it's only a 23-second difference to finish up with. And the fact that we have barely any time means you're right. I mean, there is a real possibility of a draw.
We'll see if it happens or if somebody will be adding a point to the scorecard right here to move up the match point. Shy starting with the Widow, just looking to see if anyone's playing forward. They're not. They will be back over to the Echo. Hangzhou Spark need to have one hell of an attack here. I mean, we saw how much they struggled at the very beginning of the map, nearly getting full health. Cannot afford to have that happen right now if they want to take away Nambani. So far, Shy has really yet to nail a shot.
I mean, this was a rough attack for Hangzhou Spark. As you have to remember, they nearly got full health here, so I'm a little bit more concerned for Hangzhou just because of that. We'll see if they can find an opening or not. And, not a lot of time to get a nano up. MCD is so far away from the nano, but that killed Anisha, could just secure it.
Yeah, that was way too late for him to try to exit, to try to get over to the safety. Good punish there from Shy. Hits him with the beam, throws out the sticky bombs, just a chip away. Halfway to that duplicate. Second tick now going to be coming through. And do they just concede the point? Because right now that's what it's looking like. They will press forward. Elsa getting the tag. Now the leap comes in from Gaga. Bubbles good to protect. Wraith walk is there from Kaneki to try to stay safe. And that's going to force that in off the point. The cap comes in. Now we're into OT. They're looking for the cleanup on the backside of this fight though. Chengdu Hunters still looking to push it, but it's going to be pushed way too far. Snaps back in the opposite direction. Hits them square in the nose. And it's going to be the Hangzhou Spark now with quite a bit of distance opened up for them to push this card.
I gotta say, this could be enough. This push right here, just capping and getting any distance on B could be enough for Hangzhou to win. Because even getting a full cap in, I want to say 123 or 123 there, is probably, it's hard to do. It's very difficult to do. That being said, Chengdu did have a great attack on their A, so we'll see how that happens later. But where do they stop this now? Because in OT, you would normally say, oh, okay, the defending team just needs to win one fight, but the spawns take so long. If you get snowballed here, this could go quite a fair distance. I mean, look at where the payload is. It's on the last corner.
Getting ready to round it. Leave with the duplicate. Goes in. Gets the copy onto Bernard, who they nearly knock out of the back. Still does have that self-destruct. Sleep goes through onto Leave, putting him on the ground, trying to just wait out that duplicate timing. It seems like it's going to be pretty good for it. Oh, man, Bernard with the remake. He finds Kaneki shutting down the Reaper. Architect now, Death Blossom. Flips in, gets rid of Nisha. Leave is gone. Architect will get traded out. Monk just sniping in the back line, trying to keep everybody topped up, trying to alleviate some of this pressure, but it's just proving to be too much. Self-destruct will be used by Shy right here on the cart to clear some space, gets rid of the baby Diva, and now Gaga is left on his lonesome all the way far forward. Shield bash into the beam, and Hangzhou Spark are not done yet. The cap onto B comes through. How far can they take this? There's still a primal for Gushue.
I mean, at this point, the answer is too far already. It's already been too far. Capping B in 1 minute anytime back is already so insane that Chengdu have more than their work cut out for them. I mean, this is kind of looking like the 1 minute versus 605 of Volskaya already. Primal been popped by Gushue, and Hangzhou are not done. They want the full completion.
Yep, they're looking for it, but not looking great right now. Gushue going to be taking a nap, waiting out that primal raid. It's a Bionade perfectly timed there from Monk. Gives him a rude awakening as they get the shutdown. Bernard, the only tank alive, but he's still 10% away from the self-destruct. He will not be able to build it up. They get the elimination. Kaneki just giving a little bit of a celebratory Death Blossom. They finally cleared the cart, but with just a minute to start on the time bank, Hangzhou Spark have absolutely surprised us by making it past point B. And with only a 23-second advantage, Chengdu Hunters, they certainly have their work cut out for them.
I mean, that 23-second advantage is going to alleviate one mistake that Chengdu do. That's like one reset.
Like one player's.
So 23 seconds is kind of like nothing here. You would require Chengdu to have an A offense similar to what they got in regulation time, and then they are going to need a B offense that is absolutely not what's happened in the regulation time, because they almost didn't cap B, so they have to have a brutally good B offense as well as an A offense, all in 123. If they can cap A at all, they'll definitely go into overtime, so really the real test will be what can they achieve in the overtime for B. Because A is one thing, but forget about A, the distance found by Hangzhou is so extreme here that I genuinely look at this and I think about the 1 minute versus 605 of Volskaya. It feels like that type of difference in terms of how hard it's going to be for Chengdu. They're going to need perfect gameplay to be able to reach, you know, where Hangzhou ended up getting towards, which is the starter scene.
Yeah. So they can do it. Kaneki again going for the Genji.
It'll take them 1 minute just to get nano for this, by the way. And that's if Kaneki can get blade. And that's only one nano blade. They're going to need multiple.
I mean, if he can get the blade on time, you know, be a pretty good look for them, but I don't know how well that does string forward, you know, into the streets phase beyond this point A attack.
Yeah, everything just slows them down. Monk's on 25, OCD's on 29.
He's playing this so slow. He's looking for the jump on the Monk. He pushes in. The Sleep Dart does not connect. He cancels the raid. Leaf does manage to find 2. So it's going to be no supports for either team. And look at the HP bars right now across both sides. Very much in shambles, however, for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. The quick cleanup does come in. Oh, somebody, let's call an ambulance for Kaneki.
I'll play.
He thought he was getting this sneak up there. He thought he was going to be getting the kill on the Architect, but he says, hell no. 180 turnaround, blast him in the face.
I'll tell you one thing, and by the way, we reached 23 seconds, so here's that 23-second advantage that Chengdu have. It's activated for sure now. When there's no supports, who can self-heal? Yeah, it's Architect on the Reaper who can self-heal. That's what I'm talking about. So there's at least one thing going really well for Hangzhou there. 10 seconds remaining. No nano blade, no nano at all. Big Bio Nade coming through from MCD.
He does expire. Leaf trying to get this duplicate online. Shy has his. Just 5% away now. Looking for a target. Shy, however, opens things. The beam goes in. Nisha goes out. The Sleep Dart interrupted by the bubble. Monk getting jumped on. The Primal Rage from Shy interrupting it. Now he's just pushing Elsa back, stopping him from being able to contest. He gets the slight corner on him and will take him out of the mech. The self-destruct has to be used. Shy looking to bail out, does dip out, gets himself to safety, but the OT will bleed away. And man, what a performance here from Hangzhou Spark. A wild map as Chengdu Hunters, I mean, they exploded in on the Nambani, an incredible push, but then Hangzhou, they make it to the end. They have a disadvantage, and then they come up with just such a nutty push there in the extra innings to make it almost all the way to the end to net the win.
Crowd packed now, full of Hangzhou supporters. I mean, it's a sea of pink out there. Absolutely wild stuff. I even saw, I don't know why I didn't make this connection earlier, but one of the fans had, you know, both the finger guns across the chest, going both ways, and it kind of looks like the Reaper pose when you had the Hellfire shotgun. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. That's some Architect right there. Love that. But huge performance from not just Hangzhou Spark, but looking towards the end there. I mean, Shy came up massively across the board. He's the first person I talk about because 2K self-destruct on the copy to get them past A. This could have ended so fast if that didn't happen. I mean, that would have been a full hold from Chengdu. Write it off. We're going to the next map. It's the 2-1 in favor of Chengdu. But then you have, you know, massive frags towards the end there. Nisha getting taken down. Then Shy goes towards Monk. Your second healer is just caught up. Even if Monk survives that somehow, he's not healing his team. You've got 0 healing for the Chengdu Hunters, where that 23-second difference didn't look like it did anything. So it's an impressive map for Hangzhou Spark. After getting dominated on Volskaya, this is the type of reply that they surely needed.
Yeah, really, really well done. No draw there in the map, so we do have the Hangzhou Spark now moved up to match point. Chengdu Hunters going to be looking for a victory as we get ready to go in on to Escort to tie us up, take us to that map 5. They have been fighting tooth and nail. They have shown us that they can compete against Hangzhou. Let's see if they can get that tie going when we come back for the breaks that don't go anywhere.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, we are back and getting ready to go into our fourth and potentially final map here in the last series of the evening between the Hangzhou Spark and the Chengdu Hunters. Nambani was a crazy, wild ride. I mean, both teams just astounding us with their pushes. Hangzhou Spark in the OT rounds, and then Chengdu Hunters right off the rip with their insane time bank play. But yeah, they don't get it in the end, and now we have Rialto standing between the Chengdu Hunters, tying this up. Or, you know, maybe we'll just see Hangzhou Spark be able to close things out with a 3-1 in front of their home crowd. We just have to wait and see what happens, Avril.
And I think this will be a good time maybe to sub Kaneki out and bring Jimmy in. Rialto is a good sniper map, and we haven't seen Jimmy all day for the Chengdu Hunters. He's starting to become a bit of a mainstay. Now that they've stopped kind of playing gym mood, they're giving Kaneki quite a run this weekend. And maybe it is just the Reaper stats, but really Kaneki's been here to play Reaper and Torb, and I don't know if the Torb is necessarily going to be the best pick anymore. It's been kind of funny. Yeah, did he burn down a couple players with the Molten Core at several points, and was it funny? Yes. Did he get a nice meat shot onto Gushue on the attack on Nambani? I guess it was pretty cool, but beyond that, Reaper generally does the job better, and beyond that as well, now that we move on to a sniper viable map, I'm thinking it's Jimmy's turn to come on in. Something that was actually really interesting about the last map on Nambani as well was that Shai's performance on Echo actually outstripped Leave's damage overall by, I think, about 3k. So it's about 20k damage for Shai and 17k damage for Leave. So a bit more of a rough game for Leave compared to Shai. And I mean, that's just due to the fact that you see them having this huge time bank attack where they get past A, they get past B, and nearly, you know, a little bit of distance on C as well. And then Hunters just get held in time bank on A, you know, for the whole 123. So there's a lot of Hangzhou success there that definitely pushed them further. And Shai didn't have a Mercy to work with for quite a lot as well. So Shai really performed well. I think that was a huge performance in terms of Shai's Echo, which for the longest time I look at Shai, I'm like, yeah, he's this Ashe guy, he's a McCree guy, and now he could be an Echo guy as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly like a very rough start, I think, you know, in the beginning of the series with him playing Echo. I mean, Leave was just kind of, you know, just farming him for free. But it's been a good turnaround, and Shai is making it very competitive, and he's also having, like, more clutch moments, coming up with multiple kills. So while he might not necessarily always win the 1v1 versus Leave when they're squaring off in the sky, when Shai comes in, he's usually picking up like 2-3 people with some incredible plays. So he's definitely been popping off with this Echo pick, and it's good to see him
self-destruct kills, man,
stabilize so far. Yeah, I mean, some great self-destructs in there. I mean, saving them on that push. You know, if he doesn't get that double kill on the self-destruct on point A in the initial attack, you know, we probably look at a full hold, and we look at Chengdu Hunters in the lead currently in the series, and it's Hangzhou then playing from behind. Right. So really good moments there from Shai.
What was the other map? He did that earlier today as well. Was it Ilios or Volsky that he did it on? I'm trying to remember, but Shai also had another 2k self-destruct clutch today. So that's the second one that we've seen.
Might have been Volsky.
I think it was on... if it was on Volskaya, sadly it didn't give them enough impact to get it. I think it gave them the cap, though. No, you're right. I think he got on Volskaya, and it gave them the cap. No, it was. I do remember now. He got on Volskaya, it gave them the cap, because otherwise they wouldn't have cap B at all. That gave them the 1 minute time bank to work with. Now, look, 1 minute time bank is not really anything to look at when you have 605 on the other side being pushed up. But they got there because Shai clutched up to even offer them a shred of a chance to compete on Volskaya. Now, more than a shred of a chance has been earned, a huge opportunity to collect a 3-1 victory, and more importantly, a 4-0 finish in the June Joust qualifiers, where they would be the only undefeated team. They're already number one by virtue of just having a better map record than Shanghai, no matter what the result is. And also then beating Shanghai in a tiebreaker if they had the same map record. But now they can be even better than that. They can be kind of, you know, the strongest team in APAC confirmed through standings, and maybe on the eye test as well, because the best that we've seen Spark ever play is kind of happening right now, despite the Volskaya thing happening as well.
Yeah, there has been some back and forth. There's been some shakiness from time to time, but a lot of that's on the back of you know, Chengdu just genuinely playing really well. It's not so much that the Spark are dropping their spaghetti everywhere. They're playing extremely well, but it's the Chengdu Hunters have been able to best them at certain moments. But yeah, they've stabilized. They're looking good. It's a really good run back on Nimbani to close out that map. Now we have to see if they can close out the series or if we will go deeper. I personally, in my pick'ems, had this set for a 5-map series. So, you know, I like the Preds. I like to collect the points. Let's see if we can have it out. Oh, that's a secret.
Oh, is this?
Okay. There's a secret to everyone.
Okay. You don't want anyone copying your perfect pick. Well, it's definitely perfect in main mana. What did I put down?
I'll talk about map figures when I'm casting, but you know, I don't want to say like who I thought was gonna win, and then like have some stupid people be like, "That's bias." It's like, no, it's not bias. It's
can I be honest about something? I also put down a 3 and 2. Now I don't know which team you have winning this, and I might as well not say it just yet either. We'll just both be sad like that. Maybe in a break we'll share it between each other just to see where we landed. But both, it's possible. 3-2 either way is still possible right now, and I do think these two teams are both equally skilled enough to get there. Kaneki will be staying in, no Jimmy for now, as it's more Reaper gameplay. No, I lied, it's going to be more Torb gameplay. That's one of those Chengdu heroes. So, you know, taking more pages out of Jinmu's playbook.
Forward here on the attack. See what Kinect can get done. I mean, if you think about it, like Torb is kind of like a Reaper if you just do nothing but spam right click.
It's slow Reaper
that
there's no mobility, but it's tankier and has a longer range capability with the left click.
Sounds like a better Reaper to me. Also looking for the hook, doesn't really manage to find it. Bionit goes out, manages to find 3, so the Immortality Field does have to be used. I swear, I think that like 90% of Shy's eliminations throughout the series so far has just been on Kaneki's turrets. Like, he's got a lot of kills, but like he has to be the one to destroy
got 3k more damage than
this.
Leave, all on turrets, I understand. That's what
Yeah, that's where it comes from. It's that extra target, the 7th member. Well, around the back comes the lead, manages to find IDK. Shy replies, eliminating Gaga, but get broken out of that duplicate and gone for the Roadhog. Doesn't really manage to make it happen. He's falling low, takes a breather, keeps himself in the fight. Turnaround is going to be there here for the Chengdu Hunters, looking to press back and keep this cart rolling, and it is going to do just that. Cleanup comes in, and that's going to be IDK having to retreat back across the bridge.
And massive timing as I look at MCD's ult charge. If MCD actually had a nano there, they could have held on for longer. If it goes to Gutre, he finds a primal. That's a very different fight. So just getting these specific kills, you know, a little bit before the ultimates can actually come through to save Hangzhou makes all the difference at the end of the day. And while we're pushing this card forward, Chengdu now are looking towards 5 ults and a half. Gaga's on 51%. They have to figure out how they want to address this indoor zone. They're just going to try and attack. Walk in.
Mortality Field was used there. Gushway still falling low despite the nano boost. Has to just retreat, grab the health pack. Leave in the meantime. Goes for Primal Rage. He's looking to send him into the drink again. Yeah, the MCD gone. Looking for another one. Can he make it happen? The answer is going to be no. Can't quite line up the shot. And still, a significant amount of damage is dealt there by Leave, as well as just causing utter chaos here on the side of the Hangzhou Spark, keeping them scrambled. The cart has just not stopped rolling this entire time. They're almost at point B. And Hangzhou, they need to commit to this contest right now.
Yeah, they have a primal, so they should be okay for now. He's going to have to pump us right away. Look at the HP. Gutre nearly got melted.
Yeah, Monk getting knocked there into the corner. The Immortality Field does come down.
He's wasting Gutre's
side of the wall. He's knocked back up top. He's trying to stay alive. The stop comes in. Gushway will get the kill. Bernard off screen with the self-destruct finds Kaneki with that kill. Or with that ult, rather. Gushway will just push forward, get the kill here on the Nisha. He gives up, yeah, hands off the keyboard, knows that it's over. Just gives in and gets the faster reset. So a good little turnaround here from the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but still a good amount of time to drain down in this time bank if they want to stop the cart here permanently.
I mean, that essentially was a 5v5. You have Monk and Gutre both taken out of the fight. It takes so long for Gutre to kill Monk that honestly, he's thankful that his team kind of got the win for him. Burnout with the self-destruct kills as well. And that 5v5 that Hangzhou Spark had versus Chengdu on the actual point. No main tank versus no main support. And it will come down to Hangzhou where, okay, they hold it for now. Nano coming in, lands on Gutre, building up their next primal. Nearly has it, by the way. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much cleave damage when you come up here at the top of the stairs. It's exactly where they're trying to exit, so you can zap everybody down. For now, however, though, going to be knocked out of the mech, and Gushway does fall. Couldn't quite get the primal range fast enough. It was a fast build.
Good Matrix.
Didn't quite get there. And Matrix out, pushing through the damage. Arsenic barely retreats out the safety with that Wraith walk. Heart again moving forward. Duplicate comes in the last second. Rashad trying to keep himself alive and clean with the remech kill as you know, a nice little guffaw. It's always fun to see. Gushway burned it right out of the sky. The primal rage not really extending his lifespan too much. But the rest of the Hangzhou Spark are able to fight around his death. Beam comes in. They have to capitalize. Bernard there to back up Shy. That is going to be the hold continuing. I mean, just a couple meters away at the moment. Still 2 minutes.
That looked like Chengdu were going to cap. That seriously looked like Chengdu were going to cap.
These fights are so scrappy. It's just so back and forth. It's hard to determine like who's winning at any given moment.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of clutch factor as well. You see Arctic having his Death Blossom shut down, leave, then gets a remake kill into IDK. It's looking beautiful to leave, and then suddenly it turns pear-shaped. Here we go, popping over towards Winston. There will be no hilarity of remake kills, but a Primal Rage might be better.
Yeah, when you're playing this close to the water, look to send them in if you possibly can, but there's a sleep touch, great shutdown from MCD to buy some extra time. Also pushing forward, gets whip shot over to the side. Maybe he was going to land in the water himself, but does not quite happen. Gushway and Shy, however, do fall. Good opening picks for the side of the Chengdu Hunters as they look to get this across the line into B. Self-destruct to buy a little bit of extra space, won't find any kills, but the rest of the squad is doing just that, as IDK Architect will fall. The rest of the Hangzhou Spark going down now. Cap is there, 2.5 minutes now on the clock for the side of Chengdu. Final stretch, though, is always a pretty brutal one, so getting this finished is still going to be difficult.
2:30, I don't know if that's going to be enough. They would need a lot of ultimates, and both teams don't quite have it, so perhaps just neutral gameplay here is going to be the name. Gaga with the, supercharger. That's going to help the team build up for something. If they can maybe find another hand matrix, I see them doing. They're saving Shy. Shy saves himself. That's a clutch duplication, but he uses it in a forced kind of manner, so it's off the table. It's gone. And Chengdu just back out. They don't have to fight this.
Yeah, I mean, he will be able to get the self-destruct off. Bombs it up on the top, and he Why did he slide down the opposite side? I'm not really sure what happened there.
Slides back to spawn.
Yeah. Well,
that hurts.
That's a good
That's
time.
The re-engage gone. Look, if Nisha lives there, Chengdu can actually re-engage. Shy's duplicate's gone, and they're in a good position. Now they kind of soft reset. I say soft reset because the other 5 is still in position. But it definitely costs them time. This is an early supercharger. They can't push off this. In fact, they're not even winning the fight off it. They just lose all their equipment. Turret and Bongo down.
Oh, they were trying to get the finish here onto Gushway. He's going to dive back into the room. Finishes off the Immortality Field, then follows up on the Monk. With the Valkyrie, it's not going to be doing them too much good here indoors. Leave, however, was the recipient.
Got 2 different.
Got the duplicate. Yeah, he burns him down a little bit. But the rest of the squad here from the Hangzhou Spark is looking to persevere. Trying not quite falling, but as I say that, the final shot, a little bit of a fadeaway there from Leaf, will get the hit that they were looking for. IDK will get picked off. But back over the cart now go the Chengdu Hunters. Looking around this final quarter and start moving indoors towards the box of victory. Another self-destruct. It's gonna be Diva v Diva as far as the ults are concerned right now. Still could go either way.
Really making Echo look as cool as possible. Multiple frags there, 2 Death Blossoms. Self-destruct from Burner trying to save the day. Catches only the turret. We'll see if Shy's duplicate over towards this Orisa's going to be enough. Time's running out though, 20 seconds remaining. Still a Riz available as well on the hands of Nisha. Nisha used it onto Kaneki.
And they pulled it back in. It was a really good ult there from Gaga to get the punish, taking down Shy, making sure that Lee could line up the hit. Gushway, Primal for the moment, now builds up. Primal range. Diving in, Monk again going to be eliminated. Now Lee's gone. Great juggling. Oh man, the Primal Blade from Gushway. This is what he is famous for. Absolutely crushes it. Has the bubble to block the self-destruct. It's a beautiful way to end this defense here for the Hangzhou Spark. Gushway showing why he's been considered one of the best Winstons in the world since his, basically his debut back at World Cup in 2018. It's just wonderfully done by him.
Phenomenal. Like you said, that's the original Primal Blade to me, is the Gushway Primal Blade. Perfect juggling. The control on his primals, fantastic. I mean, it's unbelievable how thick it was. Watch it again. I know, it was so impressive. And a rough situation with Chengdu where they lose Kaneki. They desperately need to get him back in. First kill comes on towards Gaga, Primal in, Monk's first target, sees the second around, why not get a second customer here? 2 for 1 is going to be great for Goose Race. That's 3 kills in this particular fight. Does he get more than that maybe? Prevents the remake. Insane onto Elsa. Elsa probably dies anyway, but yeah, just putting salt into the wound, I think, with that kind of 4K coming through, 2 of which was from the same Primal. And Hangzhou Spark, overall as a team, holding for 2.5 minutes there, where I think about 2 minutes of it was out in the courtyard. Like, you didn't even see Chengdu get into the final section of C in the indoors part, where the gallery stuff is. You didn't even see that until the very end. Most of the entire offense was just held outside because they never found, the ability to get through. And it started with Nisha dying to Bernard's self-destruct there, or was it Shai's Shai's self-destruct? And after that, I feel like Chengdu just never had tempo again.
Yeah, it's just really great. Just bleeding them down steadily. Good topper for Goodway at the very end. I think that the thing that's the most impressive about those plays is just being able to identify where the hell everybody is at in those chaotic moments. But Goodway, he's got it down pat, knew exactly where his targets were. Now, on the attack though, Hangzhou, Architect slap broken up, and he will be able to escape, so not able to get the full collapse onto that Reaper, send it back into the spawn room. Shai pokes out around the top. Takes quite a bit of damage.
No one's got ultimates just yet either. I mean, Monk's sitting at 63, and minutes nearly gone, and payload positioning is reasonable. They need to take some more space indoors, force away Chengdu, and do all of that while keeping tabs on where the ults are at, because as soon as Monk gets this, you can imagine we'll go on towards Gaga. With the first kill into the MCD, that's going to push Monk way further ahead and force a soft reset onto Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah, really good pickoff there. I mean, we were singing praises of MCD earlier on at the top of the series, and I feel like he's been a regular target, regularly targeted by the Chengdu Hunters throughout this set. And when they have been picking off MCD is when they've been finding a hell of a lot of success. I mean, Bonnie in particular, they were able to get eliminations onto him at the very start of the fight, and that kind of really helped them get that heavy snowball push going to set up a really good time bank. So if they can continue to do that, maybe they can find a pushing again. Tie this up. Lead pressing forward. Find Shai. MCD going to be Goomba stopped by Gaga, but it does cost him as Bernard pushes forward to get that finish onto the enemy Winston. Follows up for another kill onto Kaneki, and this should be enough kills to start inching the cart forward, but respawns are also going to be coming through pretty soon. Self-destruct over the top. Nisha again getting caught out. Yeah, he was moving back over towards Hangzhou's spawn room, but just didn't have a way to exit. Does get taken down. Leap out there from Leaf with the duplicate on the Winston. Himself out to safety. Now looks to re-aggress. Has the Primal Rage online. There's only 2 seconds remaining in this duplicate before he gets knocked out. Tries to get that D-Mech onto Bernard, pushes up into the sky, but it's not going to be good enough to knock him out.
We're sleeping here though. Shai's going to have a Primal Rage as well. It's going to be double Primal out the side of Hangzhou Spark. With Kaneki down as well, this is going to be really rough for the Chengdu Hunters, where they've been struggling ever since Monk died without using his nano. This has been kind of downhill for the Chengdu side, and I don't even know, can they really contest in time? Well, the tanks have certainly arrived, but they don't have Primal. Could be Gaga being burned, certainly will be Gaga being burned. 1 HP and barely surviving.
Yeah, I mean, this is so very chaotic. There's trades coming out on both sides, both teams looking to find this objective. Chengdu Hunters looking for the hold. Bionade out onto both DPS at the side of the Chengdu Hunters, leaves so very low, but also so very close to having that duplicate. Kaneki, though, picked off. Architect finds the headshot, tops the Death Blossom right here on the card. Doesn't necessarily find any kills from that, but immediately follows up for 2 more. The best Kaneki can do is Shai. Now has a closer run back here to the card. So 3 minutes, 15 seconds strong on the time bank. A team kill on the back end. Hangzhou Spark go in for the push, but they're at an ult disadvantage.
Leave was maybe about 3 seconds off from getting a good duplicate. You wonder why he didn't use it at the end. He knows it would have been a waste, but he was waiting, like he was at 95% or something like that. If he managed to get his ultimate, just in time, a few seconds earlier, he could have committed that one while his team was alive. That could have been a real contest for Chengdu. They'll have to save it for B now. MCD for the Hangzhou side as well. Thankfully, he doesn't end up using a nano. That could have been costly. He'll be able to use it in this particular fight. Monk goes first. IDK is down.
Yeah, huge opening there. IDK eliminated. Again, does have the rally ready for the next fight. Shai will be using this duplicate. Going to get the elimination, pressing very far forward, trying to take down Nisha, and yeah, we will manage to find it. It's a kill in the end, goes for the remake. will get knocked out. But that duplicate by Leaf with the beam with the sticky bombs. Leaf playing pretty elusively there. And oh man, great capitalization. Shuts down Shire as soon as he pushes up into his face to try to get that final blow. Rally now rolling from IDK. Primal out from Gushways all the way back over towards the enemy spawn. Looking to take down Nisha yet again. Knocking him around, getting him up against the wall. Cannot get the finish. Has to exit back over to the rest of the squad. But in all this chaos, Gaga has fallen. Also with a self-destruct, not going to be able to find any picks good. Gets the remake out safely, however. The cart going to be halted here at the base of the steps, at least for the time being.
There's a lot of time being lost on 142 remaining. Ultimates are starting to run out for the Hangzhou Spark, and meanwhile Chengdu are pretty happy with theirs. That's a brilliant boot from Bernard. Kaneki's going to go for a little bit of a swim. I'll have to rejoin the team in just a little bit. Monk will have the Snatter up available pretty soon. Gaga on half HP. Nisha with a Valkyrie should be able to survive this time instead of dying early.
All right, Nisha with the Valkyrie, yeah, does not get picked off by the self-destruct. However, kills do come through. Looking for the res, that's just going to be the pop on the Death Blossom. Shuts down Nisha. Finding MCDs, trying to keep things as even as humanly possible. Architect keeping up on top of the stairs, does sleep. Now Architect, that's going to be Elsa pushing forward. He's going to ring walk out. If they get the kill, it's like they're not going to pursue too heavily for it.
I mean, with Nisha dying this often, people can stop complaining about Leave getting pocketed. I think that's true now. As, you know, he's just always, Nisha's just not there. We talk about MCD being targeted so hard by Hangzhou, but Nisha's been hard focused by Hangzhou Spark, and like every single fight, it is rough for Nisha out of the streets today. And this fight even starts with Kaneki dropping off the water courtesy of Bernard's boot. And still now, Chengdu holding onto the corner. It's about 30 seconds remaining. Rally comes on through, and this is a critical fight. Hangzhou need to win this fight, or it will be a hold.
They have the duplicate, they have the nano, the rally rolling now, armoring up everybody. Nano Boost starts things off. Shy, the recipient, dives in the back. He's looking for Monk, self-destruct. Not going to find anything from Elsa, and they do deny the remake. He does get taken down. Monk now gone, Bernard going to be popped out. Duplicate used by Leave. Death Blossom rolling from Kaneki, but he takes too much damage. Only finds the baby diva. Shy will shut him down. He goes in with a duplicate on the Reaper himself. Good block there from IDK. Death Blossom now out. Just looking to clear this cart, and Elsa, anteed up out of the Matrix. Doesn't stand a chance. It's melted. Now it's a minute and a half to make the difference. Do we see the series end? Does Chengdu pull off this defense and extend us into a fifth and final match?
I mean, the good news for Hangzhou is they don't actually have to finish the whole map. They just have to finish it most of the way. You can see the pink box of victory just slightly inside the art gallery. Waiting for a few more ults to come online. Yeah, Chengdu kind of need to do what Hangzhou did on the same defensive portion. They need to force fights into the courtyard, and they kind of are doing that. Architect on low damage has to go back to the team, and this way Gaga goes in. He's got Primal. He's ready to go.
He's pushing forward. Oh, man. Shy is there off screen, falling quite low. Gaga, he's trying to get the knock there onto MCD to push him into the rest of his own team so they can get the kill on the enemy Ana. He wakes up, he doesn't manage to find it. Going to be traded out as Leave does fall. Self-destruct over the top from Bernard, not going to be able to find anything. And Nisha in the back, he gets the clock out and absolutely bodies Bernard. Gets the kill. Kaneki pushing forward, finds Shy, and that is going to be now 27 seconds remaining. A Death Blossom and a Dream here for the Hangzhou Spark. Let's see if they can make this work.
That was ridiculous. Stopping Bernard from remaking was huge from Nisha. And now with 15 seconds, like you said, it's Death Blossom, Duplicate, Nano. Nano's going to have to go into Gushways here to farm up a Primal, and you need to see Shy pop off again. Shy maybe copies Elsa, gets a clutch 2k self-destruct kill. That's probably how Hangzhou do this. Follow the flow chart. If he gets that, Hangzhou win.
Okay, trying to build it up now. Damage through, trying to mitigate as much as possible, but the self-destruct is going to be available. He sends that straight down. Man, Bubble's going to be good, however. Really good stuff from Gaga to completely block that off. Keep the rest of the squad safe. Architect receives the nano boost. Death Blossom still going to be available. TP to the opposite side. He's looking for a target. Kaneki's the first one that gets lined up in front of the shotguns. Gets the elimination. Wraith walks back over. Spots out Gaga trying to exit. Gets the shots at the back. Quickly done there from Architect, and still holds on to the ult. But that's the only one that they have right now, unless Bernard can build up the self-destruct in the extended fight.
See if this works. I mean, 3 ultimates available. Valkyrie being popped. It's going to be hard to kill Nisha. Kaneki can also do a lot of damage. Well, it's Death Blossom versus Death Blossom, and not a lot of support available because no more ultimates. Like you said, Hangzhou are kind of out of options.
Self-destruct has to find some space. Kaneki goes into Death Blossom. It takes out Architect, and there's no res available. for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Rez is there, however, going to put connecting right back into the fight. So they start connecting in onto Elsa. Makes him take a little bit of a nap.
Shy Primal.
The primal range. Going to be down below half HP at the moment. Elsa as well is getting junked. They need to try to top these tanks back up to the Chengdu Hunters if they want to extend this fight. Lead has the duplicate. Puts another diva into the fight. The self-destruct for Bernard. Managed to find Nisha. Now Gaga's going to be eliminated. Connecting is going to be gone. It looks like the Hangzhou Spark have managed to do it. Elsa taken out of the mech. Leave eliminated from the duplicate. That is going to be the team kill extended. And they will be able to make it happen in overtime. Hangzhou Spark in front of the home crowd yet again will be able to take this series, this time a 3-1 victory over the Chengdu Hunters.
And where they need it the most, it might not be a self-destruct duplicated 2K, but Shy comes up with the goods once more on that Echo, finds the copy, gets a dupe in anyway, gets a number of frag, ends the map on 20k plus damage. So does Leave. Both Echoes perform phenomenally, I gotta say, but massive clutch coming through from the Hangzhou Spark. In overtime, it looked like maybe Chengdu were going to get that hole. Hangzhou in their own homestand, 2 regulation games, will collect 2 wins. This one much more difficult than the one they got yesterday versus the LA Valiant.
Oh, yeah.
And well-deserved fist bumps as well. They know that, you know, looking from the Chengdu side of things, they know that even if they had won the series 3-2, they couldn't make it to the June Joust, but it would look really good for, you know, overall map win standings for end of year, for playoffs. But I think Spark winning at their own homestand, it's a well-deserved bow here. Their fans are loving this, and I mean, this is like a perfect Hangzhou day so far, a perfect Hangzhou weekend that could be even better tomorrow when they face up against the York Excelsior, and it could be Spark's first tournament that they get to go into this year in the June Joust.
Yeah, it's looking very good for them. So maybe they can make it happen. Maybe they can play against NA and show what APAC is capable of. This was a very scrappy series, though. Chengdu Hunters, they did put up one hell of a fight. So, you know, do have to give credit where it's due. They gave us a very entertaining matchup here, and you saw in the audience the Chengdu fans also on their feet, showing their support here for the Hangzhou Spark. I think overall everybody's just happy to be able to celebrate Overwatch League on LAN out there in Hangzhou, so it's great to see. But definitely a team to be reckoned with. People have to be concerned about Shy, whether he's going to be on the Echo, whether he's going to be on the the Ashe potentially. This guy is very scary, and that is why he's our player of the match.
And that's the thing, right? Because Shy now is the kind of player where he's got so many looks. Before, you know, you were looking at Shy and thinking he's kind of just a hit scan guy. He's here to replace Godsby. He's looking great on the Ashe, but he's kind of like a one trick, and he's anything but now. You look across the board, and Shy's been high performing across the board on so many different heroes. And it's a great look. It's just, this is what you need on the team. This is what Hangzhou have been waiting for some time. And for people that forget, Shy was signed to the team before he was even eligible to play in the Overwatch League. It's kind of like, you know, the Flower story for NYXL, except this rookie ends up being so good that we talked about how about Rookie of the Year candidates. I mean, Shy's got to be on that list, right? He's really changed his team fundamentally. You have one player that joins a roster and has this kind of profound impact to suddenly turn around your entire team's success or lack thereof when we're looking at pre-Shy to post-Shy. I mean, that's a palpable difference. You can't deny how much Shy has done for this team since being added to the roster and now playing full-time as a starting player.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, it's just been a night and day difference ever since he's been implemented. I mean, you know, from his debut, it was just incredible. You know, blew us away.
61.
Take a look. Wow. Okay. Dude. That's a big number. That's an insanely big number.
20k of that came from just the last map, by the way.
Okay, well, you know, we were kind of, you know, gushing over profits numbers on the Echo after that last series, but now we come in here and Shy says, yeah, let me do you one better. 61,500, 20 sticky bomb kills. I mean, this is just incredible figures. 85 eliminations 85? Total throughout
what?
this. Yeah.
Is there like an award?
If you, 52 of them are final blows.
If you get 100 eliminations, if you can get 100 eliminations, is that like, can you get an award for that? I think a player should be given an award for that. 52 final blows is absolutely ridiculous. And that is like, what, almost, that's like two-thirds. I don't have good maths on the fly here, but like, that's a large portion, a large percentage of your eliminations is you getting the final blow. But he nearly got 100 eliminations. I don't think I've seen that before. That's an insane stat.
I think we probably should set something up. Like maybe if you get like 100 eliminations, like John Spector has to take you out to dinner or something like that. So John would have to like fly to Hangzhou and then take him out to dinner somewhere.
John sends you a personalized video to congratulate you.
There you go. Something
like when the
he'll
Queen
write
gives
your
you a
name.
postcard
He'll write
when
your
you
name on
get
the
100 years
whiteboard
old.
in the next meme video, something like that. I don't know. But what a day it's been. And obviously we're not done yet. We do have our matches tomorrow, our knockouts, to see who is going to be going up against North America. And I think that this is a perfect time to kind of talk about our little predictions here, our bold predictions presented by Pringles for our game break to round things out. So do you have a bold prediction for me here, a hot take perhaps, Avril?
Yep, let's do it. We've had a APAC team in an international finals for like all the past ones in a row. There haven't been that many, to be fair. We had playoffs 2020, May Melee, and now into June Joust as well. My bold prediction is that Hangzhou Spark, as the #1 seed from APAC, will be in the June Joust Grand Finals representing APAC.
Okay, there you go. I mean, yeah, I think that's like bold, and I think in a very meta sense, just because like Hangzhou Spark has been so quiet leading up until very recently. So saying it out loud, it definitely sounds weird. But yeah, I think you very well may be right. We just have to kind of wait and see. There's always that Shanghai factor that could come in. But, and of course the other teams are going to be hungry for it. And I'm going to go in a little bit of a different route, but also similar at the same time. My bold prediction is I think that I think it's going to be the Seoul Dynasty in the grand final.
In the finals? Okay.
Yeah, I think that they're going to make
could be right. It could be. What if it's Seoul versus Hangzhou in the grand finals? We could both be correct.
That would be hilarious. But yeah, I think that they're going to be able to make it through as the. I mean, that's fine with me. Whatever. APAC Superior Region. But I think Seoul's gonna have another little surprising run, much like we saw from them at the end of last year. They're looking better, and I think that maybe the pressures of the tournament might trip up Hangzhou a little bit, since it is like the first time that they've been playing at that level in a while.
What you should have done, you missed out on this. What you should have said.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Seoul will be in the grand finals, and they'll be 3-0 up, and then they'll get reverse swept. That's what you should have said. Is that what you think? Is that what you predicted that I was just about to say?
Are you saying because like my 24-hour curse would kick in, and then like that wouldn't happen?
I mean, they'd take longer than 24 hours. With
That's
June
what I thought
Joust's
you were
actual finals have been a while away. But just it's a throwback to when Seoul, I think it was May Melee versus Shanghai, where they had 3-0 up and they got reverse swept by Shanghai. So that would have been spicy, really spicy.
Okay.
If you're like, Seoul will get in the grand finals again to go 3-0 up and then get reverse swept again, which would be really sad and funny.
Okay.
But mostly sad.
Well, we'll have to see what happens, because the action does continue tomorrow. Luckily, we don't have to wait, a week or something like that to figure out who's going to be going on to face up against NA. We have those matches coming up tomorrow. So the top 4 here in the APAC region will be squaring off. Same place, same time, 6 p.m. KST. So make sure you guys tune in, because these are going to be matches that you do not want to miss. We have our top 4 locked. We get to see, what the NYXL is going to be able to get done here in this event as well, whether they're going to just fall out of it or if they're going to have some surprising upsets like we have seen from them. They have played some very close series, so we definitely have to keep our eyes trained on that. But guys, that does it for us here this evening. We'll see you again tomorrow. Stay up, watch CNA games, do whatever you want, but make sure you tune in for APAC, because we're the better region. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Pringles. Stay in the game.